Well, hello, true believers. Here we are again for another of our Marvel charity masterpieces with the greatest of friends, the greatest of players, the greatest of chats and legions watching along. Today, we are going to be playing this game for a charity that is near and dear to our birthday person's heart. Lindy is 1 year older around this lovely, lovely planet that we all have fun on most of the time, struggle through most of the time, but for the next couple hours, we're gonna have some fun playing in this universe. Today, the charity is Beyond CELIAC. Let me put it on here for you. Any donation that comes in today will be donated directly to Beyond CELIAC as they struggle to find and work against this disease, and help the children afflicted by it, and enable them to one day be able to absorb nutrition the way everybody else does and not suffer lifelong health problems because of it. And so we are going to put all of our efforts as superhero storytellers, and you too as the narrative directors, Legion, towards this noble cause tonight. And so if you want to know exactly how you can help the narrative as it's coming up, look straight down and you can see our donations. In addition to the donations that are presented there, you will see that we also have viewer polls that we can hit. When we hit $50, well, somebody's going to receive an upgrade courtesy of Mr. Stark. If we hit $100, somebody is going to receive assistance from an NPC ally. And then it gets really crazy. If we hit 500, one character receives a visit from their arch nemesis. And if we hit a mythical $1,000, which we've done before, we can meet the Avengers. Will they be good? Will they be evil? Will it be Avengers Assemble or Civil War? That, dear chat, is up to you. And so, as we get into what we were doing here, playing some Marvel, we're using a Powered by the Apocalypse system. And as we've already got donations flying in, everybody. As we have all of this ready, we are already up to $75. Thank you very much, friends. And we had an earlier donation of 100 come in, which was fantastic. So we're going to begin our first, let me start a giveaway for us right now while I'm talking, or a poll, I should say. Okay, everybody, the first poll that has started here, this one is going to be, let's go ahead and jump ahead. Select a character to receive assistance from an NPC ally. And so, with an exclamation point, either exclamation point Logan, exclamation point Kitty, Spider-Man, Fantastic, or Jessica. I vote, and then the name of the character, exclamation point vote, Kitty, Logan, Spider-Man, Mr. Fantastic. Put them all in there, see what you get, and we'll see who comes to help. But thank you all for helping already for this wonderful cause. I'm not going to talk much because we are using a Powered by the Apocalypse system courtesy of our very own Wolverine, who has put together a lot of the older systems and made it a little bit more streamlined for this charity so we can get into the action. But I will tell you this, before we jump in, and my characters are hearing this for the first time as well, we are at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. It is the beginning of a brand new academic school year, and everyone, whether they be parents or faculty or students themselves, are filled perhaps with those early jitters. All of our Fab Five are here: Jessica Jones, Spider-Man, Mr. Fantastic, Logan, and Kitty. Many of them are here for different reasons, but once again, fate has spun, and as the watchers watch, they see these 5 individuals brought once again to a specific point at a specific time for a specific reason. And so, let's see what we can do. Let's bring in all of our friends, and I should warn you all, if you haven't been here before, get ready. The cosplay is legit. Welcome my cast. Everybody, drink them in, this fantastic group, as we are going to go around and let's talk to everybody, see who they will be playing if you somehow haven't guessed. And let's start with the birthday girl herself. Lindy, my friend, how are you? Who are you playing today?
I'm doing super spiffy. Thank you, Greg. It's my birthday. I'm a whole nother year older. As someone said earlier, it's my 7th 21st birthday, so I should have drinks tonight. I've got my little friend Lockheed here with me, which I'm very excited about because I am playing Kitty Pryde, my favorite superhero of the X-Men specifically, but pretty much all time. But I'm very excited about this. She's so close to becoming an X-Men, like an official, full-fledged X-Men. She can feel it. Fingers crossed.
Exactly. Someday off the JV, onto the varsity. Just Xavier, put her in, coach. Well, let's see what happens. Let's jump over to Peter Parker, who is struggling through school and a job at the Daily Bugle, but also recently nominated for a Pulitzer. Photojournalist Steve.
Jazz hands. Yay.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Happy birthday, Lindy. This is awesome. Great cause that we're doing. Please donate. Celiac disease. I just actually read stuff about it earlier. I didn't know how serious it really is. And it's definitely a great cause. So this is like my hero of all time. I am playing him, Spider-Man. I hope I can live up. And thanks for having me. So I'm ready to go. And a fantastic cast too. Everybody looks great.
I agree, my friend. I agree, yourself included, as we jump up from Spider-Man to our very own Jess. Jess, who are you playing?
I kept it real easy. I'm also playing Jessica and am Jessica. I'm playing Jessica Jones. This is the one and only stream I have ever done that I have ever cosplayed for because it's this legit. And this is a very good cause, and I'm always happy to do these charity games and be a superhero to do some good cause stuff. So, and happy birthday, Lindy.
Absolutely. And I'll go ahead and say this right now. Everybody who has donated, thank you so much for this, both a birthday / charity stream. But if you have donated, let me know what you would like. You can give all the heroes +2 on a roll of their choice. Look at we have $3, $5, $12, $20, and $25 donations. Let us know in chat. The cast will see, mark down what they need, and we will go from there. But also we are barreling towards our $500 mark, which is receives a visit. Somebody receives a visit from their arch nemesis. So I have those ready. I'm ready. So let's have some fun, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, true believers, let's go around up to one of the first family of Marvel. Slack, who are you playing tonight?
Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards himself. Reed Richards is a dad figure that I have always looked up to, and now that I'm a dad, it's only fitting that I slide into his shoes. Not only his shoes, but it's not my birthday, but I feel like it's my birthday because I am completely dressed in spandex. So
high five, spandex life.
Every birthday. Having a great time being with you guys again today. Thank you so much for having me. I just can't wait to see what's going to happen on the adventure.
Awesome. Neither can I, because again, like I said, we're telling it, all of us are telling it in conjunction with chat, the Legion. But let's go around, and finally, last but certainly not least, as we drop up to my buddy Don. I have framed in everything, but who are you playing?
Well, I'm playing Logan. I'm playing Wolverine, and for anybody who knows me, you probably are pretty aware that I'm a fan. And I love getting to do this. Every time we get to do this for charity, for a birthday, get together, play with this group of people, dress up like Jess. Like I don't really cosplay very often, but I've got it in my closet, and I'm always ready to be here. So thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Everybody in chat who's giving for charity, thank you so much. It's a great cause and near and dear to us here. And I'm just, I'm very happy right now. Thank you.
Awesome, my friend. Awesome. And so here we are. The donations.
I'm going to interrupt.
Yes,
one more time because it's my birthday and I can do what I want.
you absolutely. I'll be over here.
I forgot to say it when because I was just so excited to be here. But yes, Beyond Celiac is a really good good place to donate. Celiac disease is very underfunded in research, partially because not a lot of people know about it. So part of what they do is promote awareness, because this was only diagnosed as one method of treatment back in the 40s. So it hasn't even been, people aren't very aware, and it's something I've had for almost 20 years now. So it's come a long way, but there's still such a long way to go. And so many people in my family and friends have this as well. It'd be really nice to go towards a cure.
Well said, my friend. Well said. And if you needed any more motivation, everybody, just know that you're helping out heroes, and not the costume ones you see here, the people that are struggling with this, especially the kids that are struggling with this. And so let us focus on that, focus on who we're helping, and tell a story while we're doing it. So everybody, as we dive in and figure out exactly what we would like to do here, just know that I'm not sure if anybody saw this one just come in, but Hawk has given everybody advantage on a roll. So if somebody, one of our heroes that are playing, could mark down these as they come in, that would be fantastic. I usually wear hair. All right, my friends. It's time to do what they do best, and I sit back and watch and am amazed by. So, it is a beautiful day as the sun begins to set upon the lush green manicured lawns of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. It is the end of a day of welcoming, a day of introductions, but more so, it is a day of beginnings. Continuation for some, but the beginnings of many, as they struggle with the reality of being a mutant, of being different in a world that doesn't want them. But here at Xavier's School, they will continue their education, or they will learn how to be better than the world around them is. And as the parents and faculty, the press, and the students are all arrayed here on this manicured lawn in front of this beautiful mansion, the headmaster, wheelchair-bound, moves to a microphone at the front of a ramped stage, and Professor Charles Xavier, for the first time that day, greets the gathered mass. Students, parents, friends, and faculty, welcome to a new academic year here at our School for Gifted Youngsters. For our new students, welcome. Your resident advisors and faculty mentors will provide you with all of the information and tactics available to make your time here safe, calm, and rewarding. For our returning students, welcome back, and be sure to extend the same welcome you received to all of the new faces you see around you now and in the halls. And in the middle of this speech is when I am going to ask for our very first roll. And if I could have anybody that would like to roll me a, let me see, I think intuition. Roll me an intuition, please. Okay, so Slack, did you roll that? Oh, that was your first roll. The other one was a fighting. So, Mr. Fantastic, from your position here with the parents, as your son, Franklin, is preparing to attend his first semester here at Xavier's, during this part of the speech, when Xavier says, to all the new faces you see around you now and in the halls, you realize that there is a meaning behind that statement, in the halls. and you're not really sure why, but your eyes track to the building itself. And maybe it's your experience, maybe it's just luck, but you see that on top of the flat roof gymnasium, other students are assembled. They're hidden from the view of most people, but with just a bit of a stretch of your neck, you get a better view of them. Not so much as to draw attention to yourself, but they're gathered atop the gym, all of the mutants that cannot pass as human. They may have scales or wings, fur, an extra limb, something that prevents them from passing among what society deems normal. But here they are gathered, and in front of them, the faculty member that is looking down seems to be a blue-furred demon who is sitting with an open white shirt down way too far, but dressed very slickly as he moves through the makeshift rows on top of the gym, comforting and smiling a brilliant white smile at the gathered students there. Do you do anything when you see this, Mr. Fantastic?
Well, I'm pretty sure this is Kurt Wagner Nightcrawler, is that right?
It is.
I try to catch his eye, elongating my neck up to his level, and also my hand so I can give him a little hello.
He smiles, and at the mention or the realization of their group, you realize that anyone could see this group from the gathered mass, from the press corps that's there, but it seems that Professor Xavier is shielding their presence from the majority of people in attendance. That does not include you. And so everyone here, you can see this group on top of the gym. They are separate but happy. And that, my friends, is the reason for Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Professor Charles Xavier doesn't want a group on top of the gym. He wants a group on the grass. And as he continues, he notices the signal that Reed gives to Kurt, and a smile plays along his face as he continues. For all of our students, we strive to begin here at this institution an education both of divine facts and knowledge, and an education of conscience. Here, you will learn that we are all equal, and perceived societal differences hold no sway within these halls and on these grounds. Upon graduation, it will be your responsibility, students, faculty, and parents, to take what you have learned beyond this school and into the world. I expect much from each and every one of you. I expect nothing less than the changing of the world for the better. Thank you all, and welcome to a new year. And several of the faculty members, chief among them, a woman with white hair that is cut into a mohawk but long and billowing down over her shoulders and back, begins the clap as members of the faculty move towards the stage. And it's at this time we turn to Logan. You are in attendance here as a member of the faculty. Do you move towards the front of the stage with the other gathered faculty, or do you maintain a position aside?
I think he's probably, I imagine this, right? They're on the grass, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's come in, he came in a little bit late today, and he rode in on his motorcycle and he parked it at the edge of the grass. And he's kind of hanging out back there, watching. He's keeping an eye on the mutants up above on the roof. And he has a lot of mixed feelings. But I guess, and he's not dressed, right, for the occasion. He's dressed like he was probably out late the night before. But if all of the other faculty are heading up, I think begrudgingly you just hear the and he'd kick off of his bike and kind of work his way around, trying to get up front without making too big of a scene.
And before Professor Xavier leaves the mic's radius, he points out to the gathered faculty, both coming towards the stage and already assembled, as, make sure I pull up my appropriate faculty list here. Pointing them out, he points to the woman that was standing closest to him, and he says, Aurora Monroe, our Dean of Academics and Science. Points to another younger man in his 20s, short-cropped brown hair. Robert Drake, accounting. Points to a massive man with jet black hair. Peter Rasputin, metal shop. And finally, a woman with almost, it doesn't even seem dyed, but it holds a purple hue, it's so dark. And Betsy Braddock, psychology. Oh, and he points directly at you. And Professor Logan, art. And as soon as it's made known all of your roles in the school, the parents begin to stand, realizing it's time to mingle, and they come up to you and, oh, my son's looking forward to having art. And you see that the X-Men are absorbed in this, the ritual of getting to know new parents, returning parents, and the children that they represent. And, but there are already existing students here. And so, Kitty, you are in attendance as an existing student for Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. You are sitting beside a tall, lanky, blonde-haired boy with a severe crew cut and ears that he hasn't grown into yet. I hate this day. Beside you sits Sam Guthrie, Cannonball. It makes me so nervous. My stomach, it gets all turned up. I'm scared.
Did you take the antacid that I gave you earlier?
Yeah, but it ain't sticking.
Do we need to get you more? I mean, just relax. Just take some deep breaths. It's going to be fine. It's only one day, and we get to make so many new friends.
Yeah, but usually I get to sit up on the roof, and it's the first year I've been down here. Shirt's sticking. I need to get something bigger. It's too short on me.
No, you're just sweating a lot, but it's okay. Just, again, take some deep breaths. Maybe go stand in front of a fan for a little bit. I think we can stand up and walk around now a little bit. I think it's like mingling time.
I don't...
So...
Kitty... Gosh darn it. Could you stand in front and,
Okay.
You know, if anybody says anything, and he is sweating profusely. This is like flop sweat. This is through the blazer sweat. This is how it's gone.
Baby.
Yeah, and it's not warm here. It's not hot in the sun. And you can tell he's very embarrassed by the fact that he's sweating this badly, but also in front of you. To speak in kind of a meta level, it's kind of an assumed position that the next X-Man is going to come from the New Mutants, and it's a two-person race right now between Cannonball and Shadowcat. But he doesn't see you as competition in that respect, that he sees you as a friend, and never would he campaign for himself or against you, but he respects you quite a bit, and you're calm and his not. He can't help but put himself as falling behind the race a bit. I'm sorry, I'm not good at this.
It's fine. Here, I'll stand I'm not large, so I'm not gonna block a whole lot, but I'll stand in front if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay. I think there's a nice cross breeze coming from right over there. We could stand in that vicinity.
If I could just fly around for maybe 5 minutes, it would be fine,
I'm
but...
not allowed to do that right now.
I know that, Kitty. All right. And so the two of you begin to mingle out with the crowd. Again, there are plenty of new students here. There are plenty of returning students. Many of them give you both as big people on campus kind of waves, big mutants on campus. Sam Guthrie, it's Kitty Pryde, as you all walk by. All of a sudden it's Alabama. But as the two of you begin to mingle then with the collected groups, as the students separate from parents and faculty, we cut to a combination of both, as Sue Richards and Reed Richards are in front of a 12-year-old Franklin Richards, who is dressed sharply, prepared to begin his studies at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Guys, how do I look?
You look fantastic, son. Absolutely
Dad, don't
fantastic.
say that. All right. Okay.
I'm so proud of you. This reminds me of the first day I went away to boarding school. Right when I was around your age. Well, to be fair, that was Caltech and not this place, but you are going to love it here. You're going to meet so many new people and you're going to really prosper.
Well, I hope I'm able to make y'all proud. I know that shoes to fill, as Uncle Ben would say.
Well, don't you worry about that. Just concentrate on your studies, son.
I will. And the two of you, parents to this boy, would know that the statement that is said next would be ludicrous if coming from anybody else to people of your power level, but Franklin's words are 100% sincere. If you need me, just call. I'll come as quick as I can.
Of course, Franklin. And likewise, believe me, we'll be able to get to you if you need our help.
Okay, well, I guess I better go. I better go mingle. I look okay? Look.
Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong. And besides, you know several of the members of your class already from previous encounters. You're going to do just great here. We've got your room all set up.
Okay. All right. I'll see y'all before you leave. And he moves away. As he moves away, he passes through an area that is roped off for the press corps. The press is here for many reasons. Usually they're not invited to a simple opening school or opening day celebration, but currently in the area, we have with members of the Fantastic Four here, that's always a photo opportunity. But in addition to that, there is make sure the stream is up. Is it stream up? Yeah, okay, good. In addition to that, there is a brand new senator for the state of New York by the name of Jimmy Diaz. And Jimmy has just announced his candidacy for the President of the United States. And his daughter, Connie Diaz, is a first-year student here at Xavier's. And because of the popularity of Senator Diaz and the possibility that he may very well be the next president of the United States, the press is here. It's tactical. Professor Xavier and Senator Diaz made sure that they were here. So in the future, this record could be shown as a beginning. But in the press corps, we see a young Peter Parker sent by the Daily Bugle to take pictures of all of these events, ordered by Triple J to make sure that Senator Diaz was captured for their political section that they are going to add in the Daily Bugle to carry them through election and then inauguration. But Peter, what do you see? What do you do? How are you?
Oh, well, Peter would be, Peter is most happy taking photographs. Definitely. He's a great scientist, but he beams with pride with taking pictures. And he he's caught a picture of Mr. Fantastic and Franklin having their moment before he went off to school, but he's really focused on the Senator Diaz, and he kind of monologues to himself. I really like this Senator Diaz, but he's going to be in for a long road. I know that being in this school is going to bring him scrutiny, his daughter, but I'm really proud of him, and I'm pulling for him. And he's also chuckling to himself about Logan being an art teacher, and that's one that he's really, he's capturing pictures of Professor X, and if he would go over and speak with Senator Diaz, and he's trying to capture the whole road for him, and he's trying to really, now that he's been nominated as a Pulitzer Prize photographer, he's trying to he's kind of like his head's pumped up a little bit too. He's like, I'm a real deal now.
Nominated,
yes.
Pulitzer
Not one. He's nominated.
Right.
Not one yet.
Still.
Right.
Very good.
He's trying to win it, so he's really grinding.
Very good, very good. And so as you're capturing these pictures of life throughout the graduation, several other flashes are going off as we see that pictures are being taken. Before Franklin departs, a picture is taken of the Richards family as they all stand and take a picture. And Peter, even when you're kind of in the press corps taking a picture of Reed and Franklin, you feel a picture over your shoulder as everyone wants to capture this moment. But of course, you are you're in the best position to get the best shot.
I'm in the cat seat, huh?
You are. And so there's a picture too of course, many people taking pictures of and with Connie and Jimmy Diaz. There's even a picture that Colossus takes of the faculty as everything as all these cameras kind of go off, documenting this moment from perspectives and angles across the way. And there's even a picture in the distance from the top of the gymnasium as Nightcrawler gets a picture of the gathered group below, and then immediately turns it around and flips the camera back on himself and tells all the kids on the roof to gather around now, but don't get in front of me, and takes another picture. And as all of this goes on, we go to the last of the Fab Five. As Jessica Jones, you are there in the capacity of a photojournalist as well. But you're here for a different reason. Senator Diaz has hired you to become the campaign photographer. At least that's what you're called in the light of day. But he really got you to become a part of his campaign because he feels he is being stalked and potentially ready to be blackmailed. He has received pictures of both himself and his daughter in the park having dinner in very personal moments throughout the city. And you are here under disguise of photog to see if you can find this person in a public place. But with that information and the setting that has been described, what do we see when we look at Jessica?
I think we see her. She's amongst the throng, of course, snapping pictures, trying to get as many candids as she can of Diaz and his daughter. But she's occasionally swinging the camera around, looking as if she's moving as if she's trying to capture good moments, but she's sort of using the zoom to see if she can look further beyond and just see if there's anyone who looks shady or who looks like they might be doing more than just trying to snap an innocent photo or a press photo. But she's, doing her job as much as possible, but occasionally the camera swings beyond them and she's looking. And I think maybe if Peter's close enough, she might be like so engrossed in looking, she sort of backs into him a little bit. Sorry.
Hey, Jess. Hey, what's up?
I'm working. What the hell are you doing?
Taking pictures for the Bugle. You know that.
Right. Cool. Good luck. See ya.
Hey, what are you doing over there? What are you doing here?
I'm a photojournalist today.
Really? So should I be keeping my eye out?
What?
Should I be keeping my eye on him for anything?
No.
He might need me.
Yeah,
He kind of
yeah.
winks at her. I am a Paulus nominated photographer.
Good for you.
He kind of goes, "Get that over here." I also got, look,
Roll me an intuition, Jessica, as you scan the crowd, not for the perfect picture, but the imperfect spectator.
Yes.
Okay, a 9. You look around trying to use your detective eye to see if somebody in the crowd their body isn't speaking the same language as everybody else. Looking for tension, looking for somebody that has a gaze directed against the general ebb and flow of conversation. You don't see anybody that matches a air quote shady description, but you do notice that there are several open windows in Xavier's, and for just a moment, from the second floor, you see the last of the sun's rays as it begins to set glint off of what you think to be a lens.
Okay. She's gonna mentally mark where that window is, and keep working for the moment. But she's going to. Is there plans to allow folks into the school that we know of so far?
It seems that everyone's going to remain outside because it's such a beautiful day. That's what everyone is saying, of course, that it's a beautiful evening. And there's tables set up outside and lights strung up, and there's going to be a band and just a full mixer type of atmosphere. But the real reason being, and I'm sure every one of you are aware of the secret nature of Xavier's, very few people were allowed inside of its walls because it could uncover a truth that could damn a student or their parents, or bring the wrath of the anti-mutant factions down upon the school. So unless it is a situation of either invitation or dire import, school is usually off limits.
Okay. Gonna look for faculty then that I can get in with.
You do see an art teacher.
I do see an art teacher. She's gonna briefly just head over to Diaz and give him a pat and just be like, I gotta go. I think I saw something, and jet off before he really has a chance to say anything.
He just he nods. Yeah, okay.
And she's gonna just kind of look around and spot the art teacher and give him a tap on the shoulder. Hey.
I like to think that at this point there's mingling going on, right?
Heavy mingling.
So I like to think at this point that parents of possible incoming students are approaching him because he's the art teacher and trying to talk to him, and he's got somewhere folded up in his jacket, he's got a few drawings that I think he did himself. They look really, really bad. It's yeah, this is one of the ones that did last. I had all the kids do this. Then tap on the shoulder, and he doesn't care who it is. He just puts up a hand. He's just thankful to be out of that situation. He spins around and sees Jessica there.
Right. Most of the parents are very they don't know how to react to the picture when presented, but there's that one parent, and it's the parent that we've all experienced in one way or the other, that, oh, it's fantastic. My daughter is going to love your class. She is an excellent artist, and this is wonderful. And then the tap.
Great. And spins around and sees Jessica there, and there's that look in his eyes that says at first it's surprise, just a moment. He should have smelled you, but he didn't. There's a moment of surprise, and then there's the uh-oh look in his eyes.
Teaching art now, huh?
Yeah.
Your faculty, you mind getting me inside? I saw something weird up there. And she'll kind of gesture with eyes to the window. Work.
Follow where she points to. Kind of look around and say, yeah, sure. Why don't we go for a walk?
Thanks. She'll let him lead the way and probably start explaining at least a little for purposes of context. So Diaz hired me. I was a little concerned somebody's stalking him and his daughter.
And he just kind of nods and grunts as he continues to listen to the story. He's thinking in his head everything that she's saying, word for word as she's saying it, trying to make sure that if anyone's listening, they are hearing it too. They know exactly where he is and where he's heading to. And he nods his head and says, Diaz, are you sure he's the right kind of fella to get mixed up with?
Not my favorite, but gotta eat, right?
And you have any reason to think that somebody would be here?
Well, he's figuring somebody's probably gonna try to blow the doors open on his daughter. Bad look for a campaign.
Greg, which one's Diaz's daughter? Is that knowledge that I would have?
It would be, you would see a young 12, 13-year-old girl standing beside Senator Diaz. You would know that it's an incoming student. Her name is Constance, goes by Connie Diaz, but she's brand new. This is her first semester.
So I think he leads you around, Jessica, to maybe a side entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he knows, like in his mind, he knows, like, okay, well, I'll distract them and let you get inside, and then I'll go meet up with you. It's kind of what the plan. Yeah. And so once he points out the door to you, he kind of walks back in the other direction towards the group, and he just, first thing that comes into his brain, anybody seen my salami sandwich? Anybody? My sandwich. And he starts straight towards the group with like a cigar like out in his mouth and lit, so like he's kind of making a bit of a scene. That's his play.
As this scene is being displayed, Kitty, from behind you and Sam, approaching from the exact worst location and direction for Sam Guthrie, you hear Franklin Richards say, "What do you think they were doing?" And if you haven't noticed, indicates Wolverine.
Oh, I've met Franklin before, right? Briefly. I'm like, oh, hi, Franklin.
Super sharp kid.
Yeah. Hey, Franklin. Well, Logan's the art teacher.
Uh-huh.
And not the most, artists aren't necessarily the most social of people, so I think he's looking for a bit of an excuse to probably just go inside for a few minutes with someone he doesn't hate much.
You don't think there's anything wrong? Because he went down there with somebody and he's coming back without somebody.
And then she'll look and be like, that is odd if he didn't leave completely. Why is he attracting attention to himself? I'll investigate.
It's at this point, Sam Guthrie, it's because he's showing off the art gallery. He's proud of it. He's hell of an artist. And Franklin turns and looks up at Sam, who's taller. You know I live with somebody that's made out of rock, right? Kitty?
Sam, this is, sorry, what's his first name again? I know it's
Franklin.
Richards.
Franklin,
thank you. I just spaced. This is Franklin Richards, Reed Richards' son. You're enrolling this year, right? It's going to be so great to be classmates in the same school. We have a lot of fun here.
I hope so. I'm Franklin says. It's a pleasure to meet you, Sam. Sam goes to shake hands and then realizes his hand is quite literally dripping. And then switches it to a fist bump. Put her there. And the bump goes off, but you can tell that the two boys have at least enough in common that they are a little bit more at ease. You know, Franklin feels like he's on steadier footing. Sam feels like he's not going to pass out. But you have a moment to do whatever you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, Sam, why don't you show Franklin where the refreshment table is? Maybe get a nice cold glass of water? And I'll just kind of pat him on like the shoulder.
He gives like an exaggerated wink, like, gotcha, water.
Yep, just cool down a bit. And then she'll go off to intercept Logan.
And he's actually going for Kitty too. Like that's who he's returning to. He's making his way closer, and so I guess when he sees you start to come towards him, he'll stop.
Professor Logan, I had a question about art this semester.
Oh, sure, yeah. What can I teach you about it?
Yep. And she'll kind of give you a slightly quizzical look, be like, it's a little loud here. Maybe we could step to the side.
He smirks a little bit and grins. He gives you a little nod and he says, yeah, let's go over and talk over here.
Thank you. I'm just very concerned about the curriculum. You know, I'm very into art. So much art. Love painting.
Yeah, me too.
Without the need for a roll, Peter, you see Jessica leave with Logan. Logan return by himself, and Logan go over and talk to Kitty, and Kitty and Logan are walking off by themselves. So I'm not going to allow you to. I mean, this level of subterfuge, but no, you're able to put two and two together and come up with the appropriate answer. Peter, do you do anything? Now, I will let you know that the press is not like sequestered, but they're kind of asked to stay in this little area they have their own refreshments and things like that, but at some point they are going to dismiss the press so the parents and faculty and staff can be a little bit more relaxed for the mixer. And it seems like it's getting to be just about that time.
Well, Spider-Man would definitely be, he would call over to Senator Diaz. Senator Diaz, can I get one more picture with you and your family, please?
Oh, of course. And he would move over. Senator Diaz's family consists of himself and his daughter Connie. His wife passed away 4 years ago after losing a struggle with cancer. So he comes over and puts his arm on the shoulders of his daughter, and she puts her arm around his waist as the two of them stand, not as politician and accessory, but as father and daughter.
Well, say cheese, Connie. And he kind of takes...
You get the picture, but it's in the middle of her saying, why don't you have to say cheese? And then click.
And he says, well, good luck, Senator. And he kind of like, he's going to focus on Wolverine and Kitty. Now he sees all the, and he sees Reed's there too. He's like, well, all the Fab Five's here. I got to do something. So he's kind of like, where's the bathroom at? Anybody know where the bathroom is? I gotta go. Can't help it.
Senator Diaz is closest to you, and the senator points to a collection of, it's a separate building actually, but it's not the building that you were indicated to go to or use the facility to use as part of the press, but it's where the parents and everybody would go. And he would say, just right over there.
Thank you. Hey, thank you, Senator. And he's going to slip off. He's not going to go change yet. He's going to kind of trail Logan and Kitty. He doesn't want to give away what's, he wants to see what's up. So he's going to try to get as close to them as he can.
Sure. Is there any...
And he's pretty quick, of course. He's still, even as Peter Parker, he can move probably pretty fast.
What would you like to roll to get there pretty quick and quiet?
I would like to use agility if I could. Is that possible?
You absolutely can.
Oh, no.
How'd that do?
You make it. You did. You make it You make it all the way to the bathroom that was indicated by Senator Diaz, and just as you open the door to kind of sneak in and get your bearings on this, the non-press side of everything, you open the door and run into a metal gate that somebody left there. But as you kind of off of it, you look up and realize that this gate is actually flesh and bone for now of the large teacher that was indicated as Peter Rasputin, the professor of metal shop. May I help you?
Yeah, I'm just using the bathroom here. How are you? I'm Peter Parker.
Peter Rasputin. And his large hand takes yours.
Very big. Now, do I know Colossus? Would I know who he is?
He wouldn't know you, though.
Yeah, he wouldn't know me, though. I'm taking pictures, and I was trying to get a picture of a lot of the faculty, and a lot of, especially the art teacher, since it's photography. We're doing an expose on him, and I was just trying to get over to see him.
The large man's eyes narrow. I'm afraid that he is shy.
Oh, he's shy. Okay. Well, I'm just going to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, he allows you to walk in, but by the eclipse that is happening on the outside, you realize that he's staying outside of the bathroom, sort of waiting for you to come back out.
I ate some bad hot dogs. Is there any other way out of the bathroom?
There's a window that's in there. Thank God.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a window in the bathroom. It's not, a one escape bathroom, but yeah, the Colossus of Rhodes is right outside. But before we slip inside Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, Mr. Fantastic, as you are standing there and you see Franklin kind of meandering off and talking with Sam Guthrie, and then several other students kind of join around, and you hear that distant laughter that comes up from teenagers that sounds genuine. It's enough to put a parent's heart at ease, and you would feel Sue's hand like lace in, her fingers lace between yours. I think he's going to be okay.
I think so too, Sue. He's going to be just fine. Besides, how long have we known Charles? He's going to take great good care of him.
I know Charles will, but Charles isn't in the halls or in the social centers or in the dorm. He has to stand on his own 2 feet, and I'm afraid that we've cast quite a big shadow for him.
Just a minute, honey. I wasn't listening to what you say. Turn right here. There's somebody trying to take our picture. And Reed's kind of dismissing her and turning and posing out for the camera.
You feel the hands come out of yours as the fingers move out of the hand, delace from your hand, and the picture that comes back is of a presumably happy Reed and a fuming Sue. So, the picture captures that exact moment in time. But as the of the flash goes off, the door closes behind Jessica Jones. You are inside Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
All right. She is going to be moving as fast as she can without outright running and making a scene to get to that room. Head on a swivel, looking around to see if she notices anything that seems even remotely amiss, as much as she can, being somewhat unfamiliar with the interior of the place. But kind of moving at a very brisk walk.
Speed,
like she's looking for a bathroom.
Okay. So no stealth here. You're not trying to be quiet. Speed more than stealth.
Speed more than stealth, but not trying to make a ton of noise either. She's being conscious of her noise.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll me an agility, and we'll just see. Yeah. A 10. Awesome. So, yeah, you're able to move pretty quietly and very quickly up in the direction of the second floor, correct? You're heading towards that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As you
she's also would have dispensed of her press badge. I'm assuming she would have like tucked it in a pocket and hid it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Credentials stowed. As you get to the second floor, you see that there's nothing about this place that doesn't speak of what would be considered luxury in education. Huge vaulted 10, 12-foot ceilings. All of the doors are huge oak doors, heavy, with squares cut out into the top half of them. They all appear closed when you get to the top or the second floor, except for one door is slightly open with the golds of the sun creeping through that crack of that classroom door and spilling across the darkening hallway floor.
Okay. Gonna now focus on stealth and kind of creep up to the door. She's gonna be winding her camera a little bit and aiming with it to look through.
I will let you keep that earlier roll of 10 as you are able to move forward. And as you move forward for the first time towards this door, you feel a breeze. Everything else here doesn't seem stagnant or stale, but it's definitely doesn't have a lot of air circulating in it as the children aren't in here. Everything's closed off, but there's a breeze coming through this door for this classroom. And as you get forward with your camera and look in, you don't see anybody, but you do see an open window.
All right. She's gonna snap a couple just to have it and make her way into the room. Take a look around. Is there anything else in the room that seems amiss, or just the open window?
Sure. Why don't you roll me an intuition whenever you get in there?
Sure.
As you look through the area, again, the opulence of education, the desks are perfectly lined up. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. Old books bound in leather and cloth along the walls and every conceivable corner. The space is made to further education, to further the pursuit of knowledge. But as you get closer to the window that's open, you see a cigarette butt snubbed out on the windowsill. And as you get closer still, when you turn and look at the desk that would be kind of just behind the window or the one closest to the open window, carved on the top of the desk, it says, "The heroes always find out."
Son of a bitch. She just starts snapping pictures of that, snaps the cigarette butt. Once she's gotten sufficient photo evidence, she's going to grab that cigarette stub and tuck it away in a pocket.
Okay.
And then look down out the window and see if there's any sign of exit that way.
Yeah, you look down and it seems that as far as this room is concerned, a flight through the window would be viewed by everybody. So anybody that was in this room would have had to have gone out the door that you came through. There, it looks like there's a small utility closet off to the side, but it's open. You can see that it's shallow and just seems to have supplies, perhaps where the teacher or the professor would put jackets in the wintertime or something like that. It doesn't have an exit from it. You can see the entirety of it from your position. But as you look around and as you're kind of going through all of the motions and angles for this, in everyone's mind, Wolverine, Mr. Fantastic, Jessica Jones, Spider-Man, Kitty Pryde, you hear the voice of Charles Xavier. "Would you all join me in my study, please?"
It just looks like I think they were probably like, making
right
the
at the
small
door,
talk
right?
to get to the outside of the crowd to talk, so she could ask about what she saw and then be like,
Peter would think I'm trapped in the bathroom.
There is a slight pause, and then there is a knock on the bathroom door.
Oh, and he acts like he's watching. He says, "Coming!" And he goes to the door.
"The professor told me to let you through." And the door cracks a bit, and the eclipse that was blocking the sun leaves as Colossus.
And he thanks, big fella.
I would also like to thank everybody that just donated in the last few minutes. We are over $350 for our
Thank you, everybody.
Beyond Celiac. Fantastic, everyone. Thank you so very much. Again, every dime goes towards our friends at Beyond Celiac and the heroes there that are struggling with the disease. But your contributions are the world. Put on your capes, my friends. Those donations make you heroes to us. So all of you are being summoned. Peter, as you leave the bathroom, Colossus is walking away. You just see the large sway of the shoulders as he walks back, and is immediately several of the parents kind of gather around. So, and the interlace arms with his metal shop, really, as he's just inundated.
Where's the study?
I was just going to say, those of you that are not faculty, meaning Logan or Kitty, Reed's probably been here before, but Reed, Jessica, and Peter, even though you may not have been here before, you know exactly how to get to the study.
Figured.
So Reed realizes that he has stepped in it with his wife just as Charles speaks it into his mind. And he realizes quickly that he has to make a decision. Do I comfort her, or do I do what is necessary in the moment in order to be a hero and take care of what needs to be taken care of? And of course, he mistakenly does not choose the wife. And he says, Sue, let's just talk about this later. This is an important marketing opportunity for us and for Charles. But I have to, he's calling me right now, so I have to go. And without listening to her reply, he stretches away, leaving his legs standing there, and the rest of his body starts moving in that direction. And the last thing to leave as she watches is his legs kind of following as he does that long, stretchy leg, leading first with the body thing, heading off into the study.
As you look back, if you do, you would see Sue push up her glasses and not say a word as she turns around and begins to talk, moves over to Senator Diaz and begins to speak with him. Within a few moments, you are all, unless you have somewhere else you'd like to go, you will all be in the study of Professor Charles Xavier.
So who'd you let into the mansion?
Yeah, as they're going, I think they're probably ahead of others because they got a little bit of a head start, and he just kind of leans in close and, listen, Kitty, Jessica's here. She saw somebody in an upstairs window. Something doesn't smell right.
That's not good. No one's supposed to be inside right now.
Well, I know that you're up for becoming a real X-Man, and in my book, you already are one. But you stick with me. If there's something wrong, this could be your chance. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting what you're laying down.
Yeah, he gives her a little wink and just nudges his head over and heads on inside.
She plays it cool. I think she goes from like walking curiously to like walking like, you know, someone trying to play it real cool. Like nonchalant, walk casual.
So as you develop the fine art of walking casual, as soon as you enter into Xavier's, as soon as you are a pace, 2, 3, and the door kind of swings shut behind you and locks, you hear a as something lights on your shoulder. As
Hi, buddy.
Lockheed the dragon, realizing that nobody is around that could give either of you away, flies in, lands, tail curls around your neck and drapes off the other side, and with a snort of brimstone and brim smoke kind of puts his head down on your shoulder.
Oh. Yeah, I missed you too. I know, but it's okay. It's only one day out of the year.
It doesn't seem to comfort Lockheed, who still seems to be incredibly irritated that this one day out of the year is kind of cramping his style. So, if there's, Jessica, Reed, Peter, is there anything else that you three would like to do?
Peter would still nervous about, because people don't know who he is. He's still going to go as Peter. You know what I mean? He's not sure even who's going to be in this place. You know, he's kind of like, just kind of doesn't want to put on the spider mask yet. So he's he'll just kind of walk in. Like, oh, hey, pictures.
Oh, Jesus. Because they think he smells Peter Parker as soon as
Kitty
he
has
steps
no
in,
idea. She's just like, professor call for you, sir?
Oh, yes, ma'am. He tries to change his voice. I'm Peter Parker, photographer. Now, Kitty, it's me.
You
It's me,
should
Spidey.
stop.
Spider-Man? Oh,
Yeah,
high
it's
five.
me. High five.
Immediately just gives Jessica a headache.
Spidey's like, yes, look at us together again.
Don't
Hey,
even
Logan.
say it,
Yay.
kid.
I need
Don't
you to
say
see
it.
my drawing real quick for my shading, Logan. Art
Pretty
teacher.
sure he didn't call us here for art.
As you all
Wait a
enter
minute.
into the
Oh, hey,
study.
Reed.
Yeah.
How you doing, Reed? Hey, how are you, Reed?
I'm well. What's going on?
I introduced your son to some friends, hopeful friends, some very nice people. So hopefully they're showing him around.
Oh, thanks, Kitty. He's very nervous.
He didn't look it, so.
You're very kind.
Before we go in, Greg, just a quick sniff around. Does it smell like there's anybody else here that I don't recognize?
There's a lot of strange scents here, but I will allow you to, if you want to roll something, to.
I will.
This is
I
going to
have
be tough,
enhanced
but
senses. Enhanced senses, and I'm going to use one of the advantages that we've been donating.
sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. So that's a 15.
Cool.
A 15, which is ridiculous. By the way, give yourself a karma for something over 13. With a 15, as you're sniffing around, Logan, I mean, there's a ton of different smells here. There's, new students that you really haven't gotten used to yet, but everything's diluted a bit inside the campus. So you're able to kind of compartmentalize that area, and you don't necessarily smell anything wrong, but you smell tobacco that you don't recognize.
Like all around me, like it's come through the house, or is it isolated to one area?
Yeah, it's second floor. Now the study's on the first floor, but you could definitely smell that it's coming with a 15. You know that it's what room it's coming from up there, but you can feel that there's almost, if this were Witcher, you would see a little red twinge kind of going through the halls. But yeah, you can tell that someone's been in here and they've been smoking. You're not allowed to smoke in the school, so somebody's
It's a sore spot for him.
right.
And he probably cheats pretty frequently anyways. I think he's just gonna shoot, like he's just gonna think that when he smells it, he thinks it, just in case somebody's listening, and then he continues on.
Okay. As you all walk into the study, Professor Charles Xavier is behind the ornate wooden desk that he has. There's a globe off to the side. Everything that speaks of a scholarly pursuit, of a caring professor, of which he is. And you would see that there are already 5 chairs arrayed in front of the desk. Please, everyone, have a seat if you will.
You were
Thank you,
expecting us.
Professor.
I was. I have been all day. Have a seat if you prefer.
She'll sit.
Peter will definitely
Says.
sit. Hey,
Reed
hey,
happens.
Professor.
Hello, Mr. Parker, I believe.
Yes.
And is there anyone that remains standing? Okay, so as soon as you sit down, I know that a few of you are, well, I know that one of you is a person of action. There's a slight glance towards Logan. And I would never pry or use my abilities to glean information that was not genuinely offered. But I need to bring you all together to tell you that as soon as you were all in this place, I sensed some type of psychic tether linking the 5 of you together. I'm not sure why. It's very odd. And to
I just
be frank, it's
glance at Spider-Man.
We are the Fab Five, Professor. I didn't know if you.
It's not official, Professor.
No, he's.
I'm already
just
involved with the
he's-
number-based group.
He's making stuff up. Don't worry
Five
about
is
it.
higher than 4. He
Well,
kind of sits back. He already knew this. Like, yeah, I already knew this.
to explain myself a bit, make myself clearer, I've known many groups. I intimately know one here on the campus. That doesn't mean that you have a psychic tether. There's something not necessarily artificial, but something constructed that is linking the 5 of you together. Were you aware of this, or?
It's the first I've heard about it, Professor.
Same.
We were together down in the sewers. You know, I think that's...
Oh, the
It's the
incident
only
with the
time.
Serpent Society.
We've done a couple of jobs together here and there, by accident.
It's official but unofficial.
By accident. I am
We ended up in the same place.
twice?
Now
Logan
thrice.
wasn't there the first time.
Yeah.
Strange.
Hey, this might not have anything to do with anything, but I was doing some work here. Sorry for trespassing or whatever.
I was aware.
You guys, yeah, I figured. You guys remember that heroes always find out business?
Hmm.
And she'll kind of take a moment and check through her camera. Found it on a desk up here. And this. And she'll take out the cigarette stub and toss it to Logan. Does this look like one of yours?
Snatches it and says, no, we're not allowed to smoke inside the school, so it's definitely not mine.
Yeah,
I'll tell
Spider-Man
you.
would snicker at that.
Well,
Professor,
somebody didn't hear that
whoever's-
rule, I guess.
It's not somebody I've smelt before. So they've been here recently, and they're not a normal gas. And he kind of tosses it back towards Jessica again.
Strange that I did not sense anyone here.
That's the third time we've seen that
Huh.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
and we have no clue what it means.
Psychic tether, Professor.
Apparently, we're supposed to find out.
You able to figure out what it is, or I don't know, turn it off?
I was unaware if you all were aware of it yourselves. I didn't know if it was something that you had done or something that I wanted to make you aware of it in the event that, as it seems to be the truth, you were not aware of its presence, but I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a bond between 2 people that resembles something like this, usually a mutant-born ability that requires either physical contact with another or a synergistic power would have a psychic tether similar to this, but nothing between 5. It's fascinating.
So what's it do?
I'm afraid to say I don't know. You all do not share powers, as I alluded to earlier. You don't require one another to activate mutant or supergenetic abilities. Fascinating.
Almost fabulous.
Creepy.
Jessica, did you collect the cigarette butt samples?
Yeah, it's right here. She holds it out to him.
Reed reaches into a small unknown pocket in his suit and pulls out a small device and starts examining it. Can I use a resources roll to see if I can find if there's any nanoparticles that would help me discern anything about this?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So like a field forensics? Yeah.
That's right.
You can tell 2 things immediately whenever you begin this kind of cursory genetic Fantastic Four CSI Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Two, that the person in question is a mutant. And secondly, that if the age is the same as, now there are mutants that age much slower than everybody else. You're standing beside one of them. But if their age is to be the same as a human age pattern, this person is roughly 19 or 20.
Late teens, early 20s. Interesting. And mutant genome here showing. Well,
Maybe one of the potential new students?
Running around inside the school.
A
Smoking?
mischievous person. Well, maybe they don't know all the rules
Carving-
yet.
Carving
Or a
weird
student.
graffiti that we've seen elsewhere.
All sound like, well, except for the fact that we've seen it elsewhere. I was going to say these all sound like potential troublemaking new students.
Do you guys have
But-
surveillance film?
Surveillance film can be stolen, Mr. Parker. We prefer to, well, we have other ways of observing.
Professor, you think this mutant, this 19-year-old mutant, has psychic powers that are powerful enough that you can't sense their presence, or you don't know what they're doing?
This is just for Logan and Kitty. If Professor X were the type of person to snort or have enough arrogance to be an omega level psychic that someone could hide from them, this is as close as Professor X gets, and all it is the lift of an eyebrow. It by no means does it look like, my God, are you crazy? I'm the best there is. Nothing like that, but that eyebrow lift is about as I'm the best there is as Charles Xavier goes. However, Logan and Kitty would both realize from his kind of carriage and posture that this is concerning, because he is good and he pays particular attention to his school to protect the students, and he was unaware of this person's presence. So as that dances across his face, he ultimately says, anything is possible.
Why don't we just go find the kid, track him down, find out who it is, bring him back here, find out what they want?
I could potentially, with Mr. Richards' assistance, Dr. Richards, I could use Cerebro to perhaps augment my abilities.
He perks up because he relishes any chance he gets to be near Cerebro.
What's Cerebro? What's Cerebro, Kitty? He leads over to Kitty. What's Cerebro?
Classified X-Men information? I can't tell you that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
He gives Kitty a thumbs up. Good job, Bill.
I better come too, though. He kind of like,
So just as it's about to devolve into, this is not meant to be an insult, the egghead conversation of Dr. Richards and Professor X.
It's a compliment.
Good. You would hear Professor X, he stops for a moment. His breath catches in his chest. And you see the veins in his neck begin to dance along his skin, almost like he's choking, but it's taking the span of beats. 1, 2, 3. And then his eyes go wide. And he slumps in his chair as you all hear and feel the mansion shake around you with a thunderous
What the hell?
Kitty
Logan
wants to
Whitten.
try astral detection to see if there's anybody else in the room, maybe astrally here. That's maybe why the professor couldn't detect or something.
And Logan probably dives at the same time for the professor, like making sure if there's rocks falling or something, like if there's
yeah,
potential for more
Spider-Man would
damage, he
definitely
can
help
protect
Logan
him.
out as well. Like if he has to like cover the room too to help, he
I'm
would
going to
be going
use
for
an
Professor,
advantage
too.
just to see. Oh, it just does that. Does it not roll?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
roll. You can roll either
Like,
intuition,
intuition
or intuition,
or psyche?
yeah, I'll take either of those for this.
Oh, well, they're the same. So let's do psyche because that sounds cooler. Advantage 10.
Kitty, as you kind of phase a bit and you phase your eyes into this different spectrum, everybody else, what you would see is even though the mansion rocked, it doesn't seem like it's on the verge of structural collapse. It just seems as if it's almost like it sustained a slap, whether it be from an earthquake beneath it or something that shook the very foundation of this ancient structure. Not enough to bring it down, but enough to get its attention and everybody inside. Shouts are beginning to sound from various points outside, kind of wafting in through glass and wood as this reverberation, this kind of the leaving of a freight train from the scene hits everybody. And Logan, you get to the professor, but he seems completely slumped over. Kitty, as soon as you phase, you see astral residual energy everywhere.
Oh, snap.
It looks like a fog. Like you've been in London before. It looks just before the sun makes an attempt to burn it off in the morning. It's everywhere in here. Just a low-hanging, like, purple ambiance.
Greg, is my spider
Nice.
senses going off?
Fuck yes.
We've got a lot of astral activity going on here.
The hell was that?
I've never seen it this thick.
Jessica's just gonna look outside the window and see what's happening out there.
You see
All right.
what looks like, you see the bright splash of an
Let's
explosion.
get this thing on.
The bright splash of an explosion as the darkness has already captured the night outside of Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. And so
I need my headphones.
the oranges and the reds explode up and kind of light up the area as Jessica, you look outside and you can't see what's going on, but there are multiple explosions and glows that you can't really determine from this angle are emanating from various points outside, and the screaming is getting much louder. Wolverine, when you get to the professor and kind of land on top of him and look around, on the top of the professor's desk, you smell before it happens a poof, and you see Nightcrawler appear with a cutlass off of the back, a sheath with a cutlass drawn from his back as he turns. Herr Professor, we are on... Oh my God. And he looks down at you. Logan, someone is attacking the mansion.
Two things. A is I imagine like at this point, like Logan has cradled the professor's back, right? Like he has him kind of in his arms and he's looking up at Nightcrawler. Can he feel a heartbeat? Is the professor still alive?
Breathing is very shallow, but he is alive.
Logan sniffs up at Nightcrawler as he appears, and I want to try to gauge, like, do I feel like he's appearing, do I have any reason to be suspicious in this moment?
Yeah, you can roll me senses if you want to.
Like an intuition or?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
This is 100% Kurt Wagner. You have consumed many a beer with him, and this is your German friend.
Yeah, he's just paranoid in general. So yeah, in that moment he sniffs up at Kurt and get the professor out of here so we're safe. We'll deal with whatever's going on.
Yes. He reaches down he kind of crouches down in almost like a catcher's position and puts his free hand on your shoulder, Logan. I do not recognize any of the uniforms or the tactics. A new enemy?
Doesn't matter. We'll take care of them.
Uniforms.
Yes, there are many of them, and again a rock hits the mansion. Everything is locked down. You will have to go through the halls, through the door. The windows will not open. The communications are jammed. I was coming to get the professor to use Cerebro to call for help. What should I do? Should I take the professor to Cerebro?
Is he healthy enough to do that right now?
I can cradle him like a babe. As he kind of takes position where Wolverine was holding the professor, he kind of lifts and puts an arm underneath his legs, his two-fingered thumb grip kind of focusing around the shoulders and underneath the back of Professor X's knees. I can take him, and then as soon as he's settled, I can come back and help.
Where are the kids?
The Storm and Colossus are in the courtyard. They are trying to get the ones that were out there inside. I think they are already in. We are trying to get them to the tunnels. It will give away our secret, but it is the safest place.
Looks over his shoulder to Reed. I don't know anything about Cerebro. I don't know what's going on, Reed. You got any ideas?
Well, first let's see if Charles is alive, and he's using his doctor skills to see if there's any way that we can revive him.
Okay, go ahead, and what would you like to roll for that?
Oh, what I have. Let's see. Hyper intelligence.
Yeah, I'll take a I'll take a reason here, because reason is...
Aha.
A cursory evaluation of Professor X shows very similar to what Logan's senses said. He's alive, but injured. He's unconscious. You're not sure exactly what the trauma was. It doesn't appear physical, but at the same time, you know very well that there is trauma that doesn't show, that can be just as dangerous as any type of gunshot wound or laser blast. But
of course. Well, we'd like to get Charles to Cerebro, but not in this condition, certainly. I'd be happy to operate Cerebro, but I don't know if it'll work on a non-mutant like myself.
Kurt looks around. This is above my pay grade. This is why I do not wear the crown.
Well, I'm sure I can figure it out. Kurt, why don't you take me and the professor to Cerebro, and let's see if we can get that thing working.
I can only take one at a time, but I will take the professor and then I will return.
Good.
He turns
You
and
guys
looks.
have another psychic around that could help?
Betsy? Caroline Braddock?
Ah, yes. See if you can find Betsy and get her to man Cerebro.
Okay.
She should be able to connect all of our thoughts and enable us to communicate during this.
Be careful, my friends. Weed is in. I'll be right back. And he takes Professor X with him. Everybody, roll me at this point an intuition check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody at 10 or above, you hear something out in the hallway. You hear screaming for help.
All right, it's time, Kitty.
And she just phases through the door. She doesn't even bother opening it.
Shit. And he starts running to try to catch up with her. And I think he notices at that point that Peter's put on the spider mask at some point. He just casually slid it on.
As soon as... Kitty, we're going to stick with you, no need for a roll. As soon as you phase through the door and appear in the hallway, you see 3 almost robotic figures. They are standing at a point much like a triangle on 3 different sides of the mutant known as Hank McCoy. And Beast, who was on his way to check on the professor, having been part of the group that couldn't reveal themselves, is sitting there, and he seems to be lassoed with bands of energy. And just as your face pulls through the door, you see these 3 robotic forms cock their triangular heads to one another. And as one, they say, "Victim or villain?" And then they all say, villain. And Hank McCoy disintegrates.
I think she pulls back through the door for a sec.
They killed him?
Turns to Logan. They go, they just disintegrated Professor McCoy.
What? No.
I saw it.
Who?
They're like robots. They're crazy, disintegrating, lassoing energy robots.
All right, stay safe. He looks back. Where's Spider-Man and Jessica at this point? And
I
Reed.
think they're still in the office. They haven't vacated, or at least Jessica hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, Reed too.
I don't.
Kitty's the only
I
one
think
to
it's
see
time for the
Hank
Fab
get-
Five.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
If Spider-Man knew that Hank got disintegrated, he's going to attack. I mean, he's on the blast now.
Can I smell Hank? Like, does it smell like disintegration, or does it smell like maybe he got teleported or something? I don't think he would want to believe that he was just.
You've smelled death before, Wolverine. I'm not going to make you roll for it. He's gone.
Huh?
Like, he explodes out the door.
Yeah, Spider-Man's definitely on attack too.
Following.
Yeah, Kitty follows after Wolverine this time,
Yeah.
not in the front.
Yeah.
She's not a full X-Men. She's gonna follow example.
Jessica's charging at full tilt after them.
As soon as you burst out into the hall, the three creatures with the triangular heads that go wide and then down to a point at the chin turn. There are no features on these faces. They are blank and flat. Logan and Kitty, there are elements of this creature that would remind you of the Sentinels, but nothing. It's perhaps just the robotic visage, but as they turn and look, they all say as one, as a glow emanates from the triangle faceplate, victim or villain. And they begin to move towards you all. As you all charge in, their arms raise up and you see energy lashes begin to form, but I will allow all of you to do something first as these creatures move towards your group. At least whoever's exited the study.
How tall are
There's three
they?
of them.
Humanoid height between 6 and 7 feet.
Jessica's probably like third-ish in the procession of folks who've charged out. But if it looks like they're about to aim, she's gonna slide for one of them and try to grab him by the legs and just swing one into the other.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me something for that, as Jessica, you acted first, so you get to say what you want to
Sure.
do first and roll.
We'll say fighting, and I think I'll use my advantage.
So I love all of it.
Not that that does a whole lot for me, but you know.
So as this works is you slide in and kind of slide tackle one of them, and it moves their foot enough where they've got to reposition weight. But as you grab and go to move, you can feel them kind of counteract and counterbalance your pull. And as you do so, it reaches down as if it's going to grab you as well. But this time, instead of that, you see the palm open, but electric energy lash begins to lick almost like a tongue out of the palm as it's facing just directly down on you. One of them is tied up with Jessica right now for the sake of theater of the mind. The rest of you, I will allow you to do something. Who would like to go next?
Can I tie them together? Can I kind of like dodge and spin around and like loop the other two together?
Web lasso them.
Lasso
Lasso
them together.
back.
Yeah. Like do like a circle around them real fast and like and pull them together. So look, when Logan comes in, he can nail both of them.
Sure, absolutely. Are you trying to get one that Jessica already has, or are you trying to get the two?
Is that one off balance?
It's got Jessica, but you're not sure how off balance it is.
Well, he would probably go for the two that are free
Okay,
and try to loop them together.
let's make a roll then, my friend.
What do I need? Agility?
Yep, because I think your web shooters work on agility, right?
And I will use an advantage on this. I'll roll again just to see. 12, I'll take that.
A 12 that does exactly what you want to do, but describe to us how Spider-Man swings through the air, like running off the wall, jumping and
Spider-Man will
spiraling.
shoot. Spider-Man will hit one wall, go diagonal, hit one with the web, and then start to like pull around them. And it's just as like if you're going around a room, he's trying to pull them together, so they get stuck together as one. He's just continually going, continually moving.
The old Hoth maneuver. Gotcha. So
Yes.
as you wrap around and
The old Hoff maneuver, exactly.
you're able to apply some torque to it, and the two that were standing side by side, with Jessica's over here as the third in the row, two of them are drawn together as you lasso and then pull it tight, almost like you're a roper in a rodeo.
Yeah, if you need me to use strength to try to hold them, kind of snap at them.
You get it done for now as you're able to
Okay.
to tether them up. What does everybody else do?
I think Logan, when he slides out there, he knows, he actually knows that Hank is dead. He doubles over for a second, his entire body begins shaking, and then he just starts running, pounding through the hall directly towards these two figures, and he doesn't slow down. He picks up speed the closer and closer he gets, and they get webbed together. And at the last moment, he drives his fists upwards. And at the same time, he's going to release both of his claws. And he's going to try to just straight up into the chins of both of these robots that are tied together.
Go for it, my friend.
I'm going to use one of my +2s that we've had donated to us by chat on this claw attack. So this will get +2 to this result. 16.
So my friend, with a 16, which is marvelous, I would love you to tell me what your claws do. This is your scene to dictate.
Yeah, they pop out at the last moment, right? It looks like he's just going to give a punch, and then the claws come out, and they go straight up. They're adamantium. They'll cut through anything. I don't care what these robots are made out of. They go straight up into its circuitry, and he, once they're up there, drives his hands back down, and he cuts these things right down the middle. You can see sparks flying out of both sides of their bodies and then he just pushes them over and keeps moving.
Two of them drop to the ground. Who's up next?
Kitty is going to, seeing these here and hearing uniforms, she's going to assume that these aren't the only three of their kind here. And so in an effort to kind of try to learn more about them while fucking them up, she's going to try to phase, she's going to phase and just step into the same space to see if it disrupts its electrical systems. Because she messes up electrical equipment real bad.
Yes, she does. So I'm assuming you're
It's
diving.
Jessica's
right?
engaging it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. She's going to step into it and see if what that does to it.
All right. So that is just a power of yours. But I tell you what, roll me an agility, because
Okay.
this is just to see how well you get into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm going to use one of my +2s that were donated from chat because I think that sounds awesome.
Absolutely.
So 12.
With a 12, I will add one thing to it, but you tell me what happens when you go through this remaining creature.
Yeah, she saw what happened to Professor McCoy, and she's a bit shaken. This is big X-Men stuff. This is more than she's dealt with previously. This isn't just people, this is machines as well. And she's not too worried about physical damage, but she doesn't know what that was. If it was energy, if it was sight, she didn't know what it is. So she wants to learn more about her enemy before she encounters more. So she's doing this very methodically, just trying to get in as precisely as she can. And even if she can, from the inside, look at the electrical systems while they're in there, see where the main parts are, just learning.
Okay, absolutely. And because you rolled so high, I will give you a chance to kind of stick your face in for a second and look around. And this is going to be a kind of a tough sell, but go ahead and roll me a reason as you go through to see if there's a way to kind of piece together what you've got in there.
Yeah. Of course. 13.
So you're not examining this thing, like you don't have the hood up on the car and you're sitting there going, that's a great carburetor. You're not doing any of that. But as you're diving through, you get a good glimpse of the level of technology that's in there. And none of it looks alien. None of it looks like something that you haven't seen the now deceased Hank McCoy make. You know, this is something that is current in your, you know, it's not future technology, or it's not, you know, advanced to the point of being science fiction. You see circuitry and things that are current and modern.
Any big glowy core part in it?
You don't see anything that looks like a power source. And as you complete your dive through, it sputters and crackles and falls limp. And the only thing that happens is, and we'll take us from Jessica's point of view, Jessica, as you see Kitty dive through this thing, it begins spasming as you're holding onto its leg, kind of almost very human throes and spasms. And as Kitty dives through, Lockheed lights off of her shoulder just before she phases and flies over this thing's head and breathes fire onto its head. And as Kitty comes out the other side, Lockheed jumps back on her shoulder. He's been around the block before and fought with his friend. He knows when to do his thing too. So
they're pretty in sync.
Yeah. You would see all of this. And Reed, I want you to roll me a intuition as you pull up, like, to see the Fab Five descends on these three. You all are in the hallway as these things drop to the ground. Reed, it takes you just a second. As you look around, you see that the mechanics, the wiring that Logan has exposed, the hard shell of these creatures, it's beginning to sink into the floor, and you see a puddle of liquid forming between these three. Jessica, you feel it getting soft in your hands, almost like butter left too long on.
Ugh. Yeah, she's gonna let go of that.
It doesn't come off on your hands. You can see your fingerprints as you kind of extricate yourself from this creature, but it's sputtering and drops, and it begins to sink as the two bisected ones. Wolverines are also melting.
So how many robots are left standing?
They're all down.
Oh, they're all down, and they're all melting into floor butter.
Yes.
Yep.
Are they like pooling on the floor?
Are they trying to get away?
They are pooling on the floor.
It's like T2000 is what's happening.
Gross.
Got it. Reed approaches the substance to see if he can discern anything about it. Like, is this future tech? Is this what's going on with this liquid?
Roll me a reason as you get close. The screams, scents, and sounds outside continue to increase, and Kurt Wagner has not returned. As you look, you don't notice, much like what Kitty saw, Reed, you don't see anything that seems to be tech that you haven't seen. This doesn't seem like nanites, or doesn't seem like liquid metal or T1000 or anything like that. It just seems to be melting.
Melting.
I mean, anything will melt if you get it hot enough, but this is not producing a heat. Jessica could tell you, Jessica, you didn't burn when you were close to it.
Yeah, she'll just kind of hold up her hands, like showing that there's no damage. I don't know what the hell that was.
There's screams up above and screams outside too.
Screams all over. Yeah.
As he's examining the melted robots, you can see a light bulb go off in Reed's head, kind of that dog ears perking up moment where he realizes, wait, my wife and kids are in this building. And so he immediately gets on comm and calls Sue to see if she's all right.
As soon as you
Sue, come in.
As soon as you trigger your comm, you hear that lovely sound of static, and you remember that Kurt said comms seemed to be down. That's why he grabbed Xavier to see if Cerebro could help with communications.
Of course, comms are down.
Gotta help people now.
We need to split up and find the other. We need to find Storm.
No, splitting up is a
CELIAC.
bad idea. We need to stick together. We've already been told by Charles that there's something going on with the 5 of us. It has to be connected to this incident.
Well, we gotta find out what's behind this. Who's behind this?
I think that
Can't wait.
I think the primary thing we need to do is make sure all the people in this facility are safe and save as many of them as we can.
Logan, where are the tunnels at?
They'd all be taking him to the tunnels if they can. He's just flustered, like he's just losing
Yeah,
it.
well, if we're tethered, we probably don't want to go that way. If somebody's, I don't know, watching or whatever.
You
They
don't
may
think it's
follow
that
us.
kind of a tether, do you?
They may need our help, though.
And the
Yeah.
senator, we have to save the senator.
Yeah, I'm here on work. I should probably go check on him and make sure he's not dead.
Can we head
Okay.
toward the screen? Spider-Man be heading toward the screen. He's like,
Yeah,
we gotta
let's
go.
go out to the main
Yeah.
space and see if we can figure out what's going on.
Absolutely. And so as you all head off towards where you had been, that large field, again, everything kind of rocks inside as you feel the structure that is Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters taking a pounding from something. You're not sure if it's a ripple effect or there's something actually attacking the building itself. But are you all rushing out just throughout the front doors? Are you...
Wherever the screams are coming
Most-
from.
Yeah, as direct a route as possible. Jessica's going to try to make her way back to see if she can find where the heck the senator is.
Yes, Spider-Man will be flying through the hallways, probably. Wall to wall to wall.
Logan's looking for any of the other students, especially the other X-Men, as they're moving along together.
Mhm.
He's sticking close to Kitty.
Okay.
Reed's looking for his wife and his kid and the senator.
Kitty's, looking out for Sam and Franklin and, the shop teacher.
Gotcha.
Just think about taking shop this year.
Right. Help get your GPA up.
Yeah.
Just couldn't make the elephant lamp with the trunk that... Sorry. Breakfast Club. So as you burst out, everybody coming off the walls, I'm assuming Mr. Fantastic stretching to make every ounce of movement help, Jessica running to get to Senator Diaz, and then Logan and Kitty charging together, the 2 X-Men in here. Logan, you do not see any students. You don't run across any X-Men. But what happens next is viewed from the eyes of Logan, but especially Kitty. As you explode out into the courtyard, you are met with the following sight. And Kitty, I'm going to need you to choose something here you're the only one that's going to have a reaction for this particular moment. As you explode out, as fate would have it, as a psychic tether would have it, Kitty Pryde must make the following decision. As your eyes go between 5 different groups, you see Doug Ramsey merged with his friend Warlock, a biomechanical mechanism, as these creatures, some of them 3 stories tall with triangular faces, are attacking and blasting energy from their hands. These large whip-like tongues going around citizens, going around faculty members, parents, students. But you see Doug and Warlock fighting, merged together as you've seen them before, with Doug kind of in the chest of Warlock. And as soon as you pop through, Kitty, Warlock turns, and when he exposes the front of his chest, you see Doug slumped over with a piece of pipe through his stomach. And Warlock yells out, "What the fuck? Kitty, self-soul friend Doug hurt! Kitty, self-soul friend Doug hurt!" As you turn, you see the leader of the X-Men, Storm. She is surrounded by 3 of these creatures. They all have lashes around her. Blood is pouring from the left side of her neck as she continues to call forth the thunder and the lightning. But you have seen her before, and you know that Aurora is fading. Her wind, while powerful, is not the gales that you have seen before. And just as you see all of them say, victim or villain, you see Colossus, metal, battling 4 massive 3-story tall robots. They look the same as the ones inside. Their triangular faces, hollow humanoid gazes, and these blank triangular reflective masks look down at the mighty Russian. He is blistered and his organic metal is melted and fused smooth in spots. He sees you and he yells, "Kitty, run!" You see 3 small forms, one of Leech, one of Artie, and one of a brand new student named Snail, somebody from Jessica Jones's own building who was able to get a scholarship to attend Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. The 3 of them are surrounded by 3 of these creatures. They are crying and holding one another in a terrified clutch of love as they await the end. 3 of the human-sized robots circle, their lashes out, their faces illuminating to ask a question. And the last group that you see, Kitty, is Senator Jimmy Diaz. A hero born, the presidential candidate, fires a handgun that he grabbed from one of his fallen Secret Service. At his feet, the slumped form of Sue Richards. He is straddling her and firing a gun into the face of one of the 3-story creatures. The creature looks down and simply says, "Villain." Kitty, where do you go?
This is the worst. Fudge. I think Kitty, she's torn in 5 different directions, but she's trying to remember her X-Men training. So she looks at the 2 teachers, the 2 leaders, the 2 more powerful people here. She looks at Colossus and Storm, and I think because Storm has the lassos around her, and she doesn't want to see that happen to her like she just saw it happen to Beast. She knows that what the lassos will do. She does not know what the 3-story creatures will do, and she hopes that the others can buy a little more time or split off to a group. She'll think that she'll just kind of say a quiet little prayer to herself, and she's going to go just grab Storm and just pull her down into the ground if she can, just phase her out of the lassos.
So who was second on your list? If you could have helped, your Storm will be helped?
Colossus.
Colossus? Okay, I need you to roll me an agility as you go for Storm.
Okay. I'm going to... Can I use an advantage and a +2?
Absolutely. The Legion,
Okay.
the chat gave it to you. You may use it. They are telling their story.
I'm gonna
as
use
we are
it.
Telling it. Everyone's telling
gosh.
our story.
Okay. Agility. 10.
So with a 10, you are able to dive into the ground as this time Lockheed pulls off of your back and flies into the night sky. His speed tremendous, but you're able to grab hold of Storm's legs just as the blast hits and fuses the earth. But with that brightness, Storm is insubstantial as you pull her beneath the grounds. And because chat also helps us tell this story, and chat also voted that you should have an NPC ally show up, just as you dive beneath the dirt, you hear a sonic boom from overhead as the lanky form of Sam Guthrie comes flying through the air as he rockets towards one of the creatures in front of Colossus, and you hear, yeah! As he crashes into the side of it, and you see the creature buckle and turn, and like a cartoon tree dropping, you hear this as it falls off to the side, and the explosion continues as Cannonball rockets off into the night, and you see him banking and coming back around. As this happens, everybody, I will let you know that came directly from chat from one of our viewer polls. We are less than $100 away from our $500 contribution, which will give one character a visit from their arch nemesis. So arch nemesis time from somebody. Thank you all so much for helping us tell this story as you are pulled down. And so I am going to give everybody else, I need everybody that wasn't Kitty to roll me an agility check here to see if you can act before they do.
I'm going to use an advantage on this.
That seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. Likewise.
Uh,
7.
Spider-Man, you will get the chance to act before these creatures do. You can pick any group other than Storm or Colossus. They seem to be okay at the moment. You have Doug Ramsey with Warlock, Snail.
He'll save the kids, definitely. He sees kids. He's going for the kids.
Okay, so you head in that direction. Doug Ramsey and Warlock seem to be in a bad way. The Senator and Sue Storm seem to be in a bad way. Here's the devil's bargain for all of you that failed the agility. The consequence is this. You have failed, but if you convert your health a point for a point, if you can get it up to a 10, I will allow you to act.
I can give up to. I can give 6 or 7 points.
I've got 3 to spare.
I can give 2 to bump mine.
Okay. So if that gets you, if it gets you to 9, let me know.
If I dump 1, I can get to 9.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll give 6 and. Or I'll give 5 and. Or no, I'll give 6 and Mark, you want to give 2?
2 sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll take me to half.
And so does that get you all to 10? If Wolverine, if you give 6, does that get everybody to 10?
No, that gets us to 9. I can give 7 though.
I can give more.
Can I give one of mine?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll give him one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So as this happens, I will allow you, Spider-Man, you go towards the kids. You are able to spend an extra second to web one of these creatures that seems to be going after your friends. They get off a shot that burns you in the shoulder, giving you 1 harm as you continue to make your move for the kids. Reed Richards, Jessica Jones, you each take the appropriate amount of damage that you've absorbed just from peripheral fire as you're running. Something blisters and strikes, burning your leather jacket, Jessica. Even as you expand and move, something gets through your elasticity, Reed, as you feel it burn. Something that would have been more powerful, your elasticity cannot absorb it. You take the damage that you have agreed to. And Wolverine, you draw their fire as you take, did you say 7 damage?
Yeah.
Kitty, as your eyes are kind of still just above, pulling Storm out of Death Ray, you see another one of these rays hit Logan. And for a moment, you see the entire left-hand side burn away almost to the skeleton. You see bits of metal from fingertip all the way up to shoulder and rib cage kind of pulse and glisten and glow with heat as Logan, you get ripped almost apart. Had your bones not been molecularly laced with adamantium, they would have been atomized. but instead they glow with the supernatural metal's conductive and near indestructible influence. But that's what you look like as you turn, half of your face blistered and burned. Where do you go? And Reed, I'm pretty sure I know where you go. But
Yes, you do.
Jessica and Wolverine, are you going for a group? Doug and Warlock are still out there. You can help in any way you'd like.
Jessica's running for where the senator is, so probably going to be alongside Reed.
Where's Doug right now?
Doug's in the
Is he
middle.
with Kitty?
Doug's in the middle of everything. He's by himself, and Warlock, the techno-mechanical alien, is wrapped around him to protect him, but the human Doug Ramsey inside is slumped over. It seems a piece of rebar is through his stomach.
So I think Wolverine withdrawing them, he's like running and like slicing legs and continuing to run towards the center to try to draw their fire to him. And I think even as he's getting blasted down to his adamantium bones, he's still swinging those arms and cutting into their legs and drawing their fire. But he's going towards Doug and Warlock.
And everybody, I'm not sure if our players have seen this. Whoever has the current lowest health gets a heal, courtesy of Katrina, who has just donated towards the wonderful cause of Beyond Celiac. Everybody's continuing. Void Smoker, Hawk, the last two. Avenge Beast, says Void Smoker. And so the avenging continues as we get closer and closer to the $500 mark. You all are amazing. Thank you. So yeah, you're able to get there. You're able to do exactly what you say. I need rolls now, though, from everybody to see just how well you perform this. Whatever your action is, give me a corresponding roll and then tell me a story. If it is 6 or below or 7 to 9, I'll add something to it.
Okay.
That's
You want me to go first?
it's agility for you, Spider-Man.
Okay, he's going to come in. Where are the kids at adjacent to?
They're off to the extreme right. And so they're
Okay.
kind of like the first group off to the right. And the three of them are huddled and holding each other as these creatures are preparing to fire.
Can I, like, Spider-Man's he's going to hit one way to pull, and as he goes by, he's going to try to tag all three of them, put them like in a big web bundle and pull them, they're all going to be stuck in some big web, but oh well, and to pull them out. Is that possible?
Absolutely, a Spidey bungee. I like it.
Yep.
Roll me an agility. I think your web shooters are agility based, right?
Yep. Can I just use agility? Or you want me to use web shooter? I think Dawn changed it. He's going to hit, and he's going to use an advantage. Well, I'll just roll just to see if I do better. I'll take the 12.
Okay, so with a 12, describe to us exactly how you are able to do this. There's no consequence for your actions, Spidey.
Well, as they're going to fire, Spider-Man leaps in the air, and he looks for wherever, like, I guess the top of the Xavier building. There's probably somewhere he could put him up there too. You know what I mean? To hide him. He's going to hit the toppest point with his web shooter, pull, jump, and as he goes by, he's going to bundle them all up and head straight for the roof to put him up, to get him as far away as he can.
Are you
So he's going to just swoop in and just go like he would be in the air and just fly past them.
Sure thing. Are you looking to put them in any particular spot? Because you have a bundle of kids now.
Yeah. Is there, like, when I get on top of the roof, is there a way to hide them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, get him as far away as he can, just get him out anywhere he can, like, stick them and kind of rip open the web and tell him to run. Like, he's going to hit the roof and then bounce to get them on the ground so they can get out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's your story, and you are able to do that exactly as you drop.
And he tells them, because kids, run, just run straight and go get help. Okay. You're safe.
As they
It's going to be okay.
As they hit the ground, they look at one another, and tears streaming down their eyes.
It's going to be okay.
And Snail, the girl from Jessica Jones's building, with her eyes that kind of extend a little bit, you see her look back through the building as she says, and you see her look down, and you can't see anything but dirt as her eyes go wide. They're beneath the ground. They're in tunnels.
Who is?
The bad people.
No. And Spider-Man says, run for the woods. Go find help, okay? And he's going to shoot back. You know what I mean? Like he's going for the top, he's going back to fight.
As you kind of whip and pull yourself out of the way, you see the three little ones as they run off towards the far woods, and there are dots here and there as other students are making a run, a blistered sprint towards the tree line and the presumed safety inside of it. Okay, who are the other roles that we had, and how did you fare with them? Who do we want to go to next? Mr. Fantastic, let's do you.
Sounds good. I'm going to use my elongation and head towards Sue and just like wrap her up and try to use my elongation and my elasticity to, elastic body armor is probably better. I'm going to wrap her up and try to use my flesh as to just protect her as I approach her.
Alrighty, and so as you're doing that, let's go ahead and roll agility to see if you are able to get yourself in and out before there is any type of, unless you're staying to fight, if you can get in and out before there's any type of retaliation or retaliatory strike.
Okay, sounds good. Let's use my +2 bonus from the chat and also roll advantage on this because I need this to happen.
Sounds great.
All right. So agility 1, agility.
You thought you were in trouble with your wife before.
Exactly. Ugh, kind of weak on both of them, but I got a +2 on those, so 9.
Okay, so with your body smoking from a big burn in the side, you're able to wrap around Sue, and just as you are getting out of there, you feel another one of those blistered shots take your elongated leg. With your body armor that you have, you're only going to take 1 damage from this as it absorbs 2 of the, what is it? It takes 2 energy, I believe. Do 1 less. Okay, so with these 2, you're going to take 2 damage as it does 3 in total, but your body armor will take 1.
All right, I only have 2 left, so that knocks out Reed Richards.
So as you wrap up Sue, you're able to extend and get out of the death zone, but you get hit, and everyone would see as Reed kind of unfurls like a windless flag, drops to the ground, still covering Sue, but his body now, instead of a sheet or a piece of human fantastic plastic, is now just a man as he lays still covering Sue with his body, but Reed is very still. Jessica, what do you do?
All right. Jessica's going to try to get over there a little quicker than just running by way of her terrible flying. She's going to badly fly or really, really, really well do a jump to get to the senator and try to grab him and basically do the same thing to get back out.
Okay, this is my... I'm thinking of a devil's bargain face. Okay,
yeah,
so here we go. You tell me what you want to roll with this. It could be strength, it could be agility, it could be you're going to fly in using what is essentially the Hulk method of flying, jumping with style, sort of. Grab, which also requires a bit of finesse, as you are the world's strongest, fastest linebacker. As you are going to hit Senator Diaz, you need to grab him in a way that doesn't, crush his sternum, and get out of there. So tell me what you'd like to do, Jess.
All right. I think the getting in and getting out is just going to be using the true flight to see if she even makes it in there and can land by him and not just crush him or accidentally tackle him.
Roger that. Okay.
So we'll see how well that works. Right, I think I'm going to use a +2.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so the goal is to fly in, land near him, grab him, and then jump back out.
Gotcha.
If I don't suck. But I'm going to use a +2. Oh, God. Well, I suck.
Is that a -2?
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that happened. Because I'm real bad at the flying, I guess.
Ouch.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
okay. I have a
ew.
-2 in popularity, so if it makes you feel
Well,
A 1.
well,
She did well. It's not that bad.
okay, so here's how we're going to play
so a
this.
3.
With a 3, you get there. But it's again, hey, this is let's play a game, everybody. The game is called Let's Guess How Old Greg Is. Hey, everybody, remember that TV show Greatest American Hero that was on 30 years before you were born? Yeah. Go YouTube that so you can see how he flies in that, which is just absolutely crazy. And so that's what you do. You kind of lose your balance midway through the air, crash beside Diaz, who is able to get out of the way, but you all kind of like, you take his legs out from under him as he falls kind of on top of you, back first onto your legs, as you are all just kind of in a heap beneath one another. Jessica, I'm going to allow you to do something. This thing's going to shoot.
Yep.
What would you like to do? Senator Diaz does not seem to have body armor on.
No, he doesn't. But I'm sort of damage resistant, so I'm gonna grab him and start running with him. We're not gonna try to leap out of there this time. Flying sucks.
Okay, so everybody, just to let you know, we are now over $650. I am going to throw a thank you very much to Architect, who just donated 200. Hawkeye, another 25. This is for Reed Richards. Hawk said that no way Mr. Fantastic goes down on my watch. So you get 1 health back as a little bit of power comes back into you. But let me throw up something in chat here, my friends. All right, everybody. New poll is up. Vote same as before. ! Vote Kitty, Logan, Fantastic, Spider-Man, or Jessica. Whoever wins this, we get that person's supervillain. Their arch nemesis arrives during this scene.
Here to help.
Here to help, everybody. So make
Better hope it's Doom then. What's the roll?
You're gonna
Do not want Doom.
I think we do.
This is fine.
Yep, everybody be able to vote on who you'd like. We'll just take a quick pause here to see how everybody's doing. As why don't we go to Wolverine real quick? Wolverine, what did you have to do to try to clear Warlock and Ramsey out of here?
Right, so he's been running around, getting blasted, slicing through legs, and I think like at this point, like his body's healing, but it can't keep up with the damage that he's taking for long, and so like half of him is just exposed adamantium skeleton. And how many of these monsters? These are the taller robots, right?
Correct. Yes,
So and there's like 3 of them.
there are. Yeah.
I don't know if he can take out all 3, but he's going to try. And what he's going to do is once he's like gotten their attention and turned their focus to him, he's going to claw into one of their legs and just like work his way up their body to their neck and try to draw the other 2's blasts against that one and then leap off of that one onto another. That's his goal.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's roll this.
All right. So do you want me to roll claws or you want me to roll something else?
Well, this is, I mean, you're going to do we can do the claws for damage, but because I think that you get 4 regardless of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you'd like. You pick. I would say either agility or claws, and I know your claws are better.
I think I'm going to roll agility, but I am going to pump 2 karma into this.
Okay.
For bonus, and then so that'll give me +4 to my roll, and I'm going to use an advantage too because I don't want to fail again. So okay, so that makes it a 14.
Okay. So here's how we're going to play this, my friend. This is your story to tell as you're up against these 3, and I know what you want to do. but because I'm here to help. As you are running, and just as Sam Guthrie blasts one of these creatures off of Colossus, he turns just as you're kind of bounding by. He spins to one knee, grabs you by the back of the leather jacket, and throws you towards where you're targeting. And so as you launch into the air, Colossus is just behind you as he pitches you with all of his strength.
It's great. Yeah, so it's a fastball special. And like as he launches through the air roaring, and you can see like his body's starting to regenerate, like it's happening quickly. And like one of his eyes is visible again, whereas no eyes were visible before. He drives his claw straight into the neck of the first beast, locks his legs right up against its neck, and takes the head off of that first robot. And then as the other ones are shooting at him, he says, "This one's for beast," and leaps across to stab the other one straight through the face mask, and then just rip downward.
So as you take a 3-story trip from face mask down through neck, chest, as you're riding, there's not so much sparks coming off of your claws, but sparks coming from what you're doing to the thing inside, as gouts of, spray and arc of electricity as you ride these things down. The third one turns exactly where you had crashed into the first one's head and fires, obliterating everything from the neck up. As it strangely turns, realizing what it's just done, recalculating an attack pattern, just in time to turn and see a nearly bisected second one of these 3-story creatures drop in 3 peeled pieces to the ground. You land and turn as it brings its laser to bear on you. That's where we'll leave Logan right now as we go back to Jessica. What's your determination, Jessica, as...
All right. Grabbing the senator and running like heck. If I have to carry him under my arm like a football, I will do so.
Okay.
But I'll leave him facing that way so he can like aim at them and shoot maybe.
As you are moving, we also seem to have gotten upgrades that have come in for one of our donations from Architect. And so just as you pass by, you see reaching down, the senator grabs something from one of the Secret Service agents, turns around and slaps it on your forearm. And just as this thing is able to fire at your retreating forms, a holographic shield appears on your left forearm. These are the shields that were stolen technology during the Armor Wars series that were used by the guards in the raft. And so as it blisters to light, you have 2 armor as this thing is going to fire on you. I will, however, let you make a strength roll to see if you can keep it in front of you and maybe protect both of you.
Okay. I think I might still have a +2. I'm pretty sure I've only used 1. So I think I'll go ahead and use it.
Let's do it.
9.
Okay, so with a 9, you're going to take 1 additional point of damage, but the shield takes most of it. You're able to get, as you're running with the football that is the senator, you turn your shield, and in your best Captain America, as you drop it in front of you, you get blasted and rocked back, just a little bit of the energy licking across the top of your jeans and burning your thigh.
I do have damage resistance, so I can tell that 1 bit of damage to go away.
Yeah, it has effectively been told to go F itself as you use your damage resistance. And so your jeans are the worse for wear, but the skin beneath it is fine. As Jessica, you're staring through a holographic shield that has been given to you. We're going to go to Reed in just 1 second as we go back to Kitty. Kitty, you have Storm in your hands, and you can feel her, even in this astral form, go weak as you realize she has taken a severe slice to her neck, and she is bleeding very bad.
Is there a place nearby for cover?
Yeah. Are you looking for like sturdy cover? I mean, you could potentially phase her into the building if you wanted to.
I think she will because there's less shooty pew pew things in there as far as we know. So I think she'll just phase into the closest building, even if it's a tool shed, just something to give her cover, so that underground people don't see where she went. So she'll just phase back out. Professor Aurora, oh my gosh, are you okay?
Storm is holding her neck, and she seems very weak, but no, thank you, Kitty.
Okay.
And
do I have any way to give her some first aid? I'm sure we were taught this in junior X-Men class.
Yeah, what do you want to roll for it?
That's an excellent question.
How about resources? Roll me a resources just to see if you can.
Okay.
Okay, Greg.
I'm gonna use an advantage on this resources so I don't accidentally kill her. I have some band-aids in my boot. Hold on. Roll again. It's taking a second. 8.
Okay, with an 8, I mean, it's still a success with consequences, so you're able to stabilize her, but you can tell that Storm is effectively out of this fight. Okay. She just can't. She might have been able to kind of come back and help a bit, but she's just, I mean, she can barely stand. You can tell that she's just
stay
weak.
Here and lie low. I'm gonna go back out to help.
Before you go, Storm's eyes narrow as you see just a little bit of electricity kind of bounce between both orbs. And she looks over your shoulder and says, "What is that?"
What do I see?
Behind you, sticking blade down in the floor, is a glowing white steel sword. And there is written across in an almost ribbon, it says, "From one friend to another, Ilyana Rasputin. This is the soul sword." And also a gift from chat.
Yeah, you're going to want that.
I'll be like, Rasputin, Peter have a sister? Guys, I really should ask about his family more. But I can't. Okay. She gets caught up thinking about Colossus for a second. Is like, no, X-Men mode. And grabs the sword and phases back out. She knows Lockheed'll find her. She's gonna check on Doug because he had something stuck in his gut, so she's gonna head that way.
Okay, so we'll take this from Wolverine's point of view. Wolverine, as you are standing kind of toe-to-toe with one of these creatures, you see Kitty phase up through the ground carrying a sword that as soon as it strikes the air begins to glow like a searchlight on top of a lighthouse. And as you bring it around, there's an almost demonic flame that licks from its hilt up its blade and back again as the junior X-Man has arrived on the scene. The two of you are together facing one of these things as we go over to Mr. Fantastic. Reed, you've had better days. You're feeling not quite yourself. You are burned. You are blistered. You can smell yourself burning. It's like a tire fire. But as you are sitting there atop Sue, you feel her fingers lace between yours. As one of these creatures lands.
A wave of calm comes over him because the fear is banished at the fact that she is alive. So immediately he spins his head around 180 degrees because he's laying on top of her, checking on her. So he spins his head around in an insane only way that Mr. Fantastic can do, and looks around for the nearest enemy that he can take his vengeance upon.
Just as you kind of awaken and spin and do that owl-esque twist of your neck, you see one of the humanoid ones drop behind you. You see a tether begin to erupt from one of its palms as to the left, boom, another one drops, to the right, boom, another one drops. And as they stand there with it licking out of their palm, victim or villain? What do you want to do?
As much as he's tempted to wait to find out if he is victim or villain, it occurs to him, he's computing in his head, like, which one? I need to know whether I'm classified as victim or villain from these. And he's weighing that in his brain, but all of this takes like nanoseconds for him because he realizes that not acting absolutely would not be in his or his wife's best interest. So we're going to go with double giant hammer fist clobber. So he fashions his hand into two giant hammers and sends them forward, punching the two triangle face assholes in front of him.
Let's do it. I love everything about it. Roll, roll, roll. Because I think you actually have a big fist, hammer fist attack. You Don gave you that, didn't he?
I do.
That's the best.
All right. Fighting. Okay. All right, let's go ahead on this one. I'm going to use an advantage and a +2 bonus.
I love it. Do it.
So here we go. Boom. Boom. So that's a 10.
So with a 10, Mr. Fantastic, tell me what you do to, I assume, 2 of these, or are you attacking 1 with both fists?
I'm attacking 2 with both fists.
Gotcha. So this is you. I don't add a thing to this. Tell me what you do with these 2.
All right. So with the 2 fists, he punches them both into the nearest wall and then opens his fingers, grabs them, and slams them together and claps his hands. They fall to pieces and begin to melt into glowing slime.
And since we only have, well, we'll count it down here real quick. That is exactly what happens as they smash with the clap and drop to the ground. And as our poll closes, the last of these creatures, these robots, it sees its 2 friends, comrades, soldiers get crushed in the way that you described, and it still mutters with its glowing triangular faceplate, "Villain." And from roughly 25 feet in the air above, you hear a laugh. And Dr. Victor Von Doom is floating in the air with his arms crossed, having witnessed the greatest joke in his life. A creature calling his dear friend Reed Richards a villain.
Reed swivels the top half of his body to face Doom and says, "Victor, is this your doing?"
Victor, you can't see if he's smiling or if he winks as the iron mask of the Lord looks back at you with the green hood blowing loosely in the wind upon which he flies. And he says nothing but slowly begins to drift down toward you. In the air above him, you see dots descending upon Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Dots that seem to be 3 stories in height. Let's cut back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man, you've just whipped and gotten away from the kids. You've also been able to kind of shield wall off with spider webbing as you run and see somebody that might be in the process of being chased, giving the pursuer something to handle as you kind of are doing everything you can to get these kids to safety. But as you land, you see a very terrible sight as Wolverine and Kitty are facing off against a 3-story creature, more of them descending from the sky, but someone that you recognize from pictures and perhaps your nightmares. Dr. Doom is lowering towards the grass.
Oh. Oh, think, Spidey. Think. Okay. He's going to go and shoot, and he's going to attack. He sees the Wolverine and Kitty are fighting like they're in Mortal Kombat. He's going to go after them first. You know, he sees that Doom's coming down. This has got to be Dr. Doom. And is there any, how many are they fighting?
Well, right now, Kitty and Wolverine are against one of the 3 stories, but it seems ready to fire.
With a big sword.
Well, here's my question. I'm glad you about said they're ready to fire. He wants to shoot at its arms and direct it toward Doom. Is that possible?
My friend, anything is possible. It's just to see if the dice agree with you. So I will take an agility roll right here.
All right. I am going to just... It's going to be a strength roll to get the arm moved, correct? I'm trying to look ahead to see what I want to use here to spend...
Everything.
I'm trying to plot my spending out here. What this is going to take.
My friend, we played together for a long time. You do know there's 2 rolls, so I will just tell you this: the first one is to do what you want to do as far as attacking and hitting. The second one's going to be the targeting. So
Okay.
I'll leave that.
All right, so let's do the. I'm going to do a +2 on the agility.
Okay.
So that's a 9.
Okay. As you come in, you're able to do exactly what you want. You get a hold of the arm, and as you spin up and away, you do take a point of damage as you feel a blast that came from somewhere. Not even sure where it came from, but it hits you enough to do a point of damage as it burns into your back a little bit, Peter.
Ah!
But you are hooked on now. Now I need you to roll me a strength.
Okay, I'm going to use an advantage on this.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
I'll just roll it just because.
Yeah, roll it again. All right.
Yeah, I'll 13. I'll take it.
That's a point of karma, too.
Yeah.
Let's cut back to Reed.
Yes, let's.
Reed, as you are sitting there and as Victor is lowering through the sky, you can see over Victor's shoulder. And you see an arm turn, a huge palm with a glowing dispersal of energy being redirected at your nemesis. You have a moment to do something. This beam's not going to hit you, but Doom doesn't know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So, victim or villain, Mr. Fantastic?
Gotcha. Do I get, can I sense if any of the events that have occurred up until today are associated with any of the science or tech or magic that Reed has witnessed from Doom before in the past?
Because haven't we seen Dr. Doom tech before with the slogan, "The heroes know what they're doing"?
You
He was
have.
potentially in the first episode.
That's what I was thinking.
It was the post-credit scene, though. So we were unaware of such.
It was. Roll me. I will let you. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Intuition will give you the ability to glean just by from the circumstances and the facts that you have currently at hand, the energies that are being dispersed. If you want to roll reason because of your deep knowledge of everything Doom has done, of everything that you've gone through, I don't know which one is better for you, so I'm going to give you the option to roll either. Reason would give you, it has a lower threshold for failure.
All right, so reason, or what was the other one?
Intuition.
Intuition. All right. Let's do. Let's use Reed's excellent reason abilities, and I'm going to add a karma point to that.
Sure, so that's a +2.
All right. Boom. 12.
You've been around the block with Victor. You've seen everything he has. He's seen everything you have. This isn't his tech.
All right. I'm going to save Victor. I'm going to, as the blast is coming in for Doom, I am going to, I've only got 1 health. All right. I'm going to attempt.
What's that behind you? No.
I'm not falling for that.
To, all right, not knock him away because I don't want to piss him off and think I'm attacking him. I want to.
That'd be just so great.
I want to use a. Let's see here.
Let the
I'm going to
fool get
use
hit.
a grapple attack and try to grab him and pull him out of the way of the misdirected laser beam that Spidey has sent his way.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that attack.
Look out.
4.
Oh, that's beautiful. At least you tried.
Let
You
him
can
get
see
hit.
that the effort was put there.
Yeah, I agree. Let him get hit, but Reed's got to try.
Here's how this plays out. Victor Von Doom is arguably as smart as Reed. Maybe just a little bit. Reed's got him by a hair.
There's the argument, yeah.
Right, there's the argument. So, Reed, as soon as you grab hold in an effort to kind of pull him out of the way, for a moment, and a moment is all a super genius needs, several things go through Victor's mind. 1, what the hell is he thinking? 2, he's never tried to attack me like this before. 3, really? 4, he's trying to get me out of the way of something. And as Victor looks over his shoulder, he doesn't have time to get out of the way, but he realizes what you were doing. As you hold on to his legs, you all of a sudden don't feel Victor Von Doom as you drop to the ground, and he is not disintegrated, but the Lord flies back, the cape gets burned up, the hood gets burned up as he drops to the ground and slides beside Sue Storm. And as he sits up, there's smoke coming off of his armor as he almost, with a mixture of the creaking of a knight's joints and the whir of an Iron Man Mark V, he stands up. Woo! And the eyes behind narrow. Let's cut back to Jessica. Jessica, you got one in front of you. It is bearing down on you and the Senator, and you just took the blast behind the holographic shield as you slide to a stop, and the Senator looks at you and says, go, they want me.
I'm not gonna leave you here. You're gonna die.
I don't want you to die.
She just pretty much rolls her eyes and is going to drag him further. This is one of the big ones, like the really huge ones, or
This is a big one that's on you now, yeah.
okay. I think she's just gonna grab it and run between the thing's legs and see how good it is at tracking from there. How's the shield look in terms of like how's it holding up?
It looks strong. I mean, it's red. You can see through it. It's translucent, almost transparent.
Right.
It's you can stare through it as you hold it up. It covers your forearm, and when pulled up, basically thing from waist to like nose, you can hide behind.
Okay. All right. She's just gonna grab him again and charge between its legs to keep going. Along the way, just being like, why do you think they're after you? Who are these things?
I don't know, but
You're pretty self-absorbed.
it's a politician. I mean, come on. They have to be after him, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this is no grand insight. This is simple
obviously they're
pride,
after
right?
me.
Right. He hasn't witnessed anything else going on with everybody. Okay, so roll me an agility as you get between this thing's legs to see. With a 10, if you want to make an attack as you go through 2, I will allow it.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll do an unarmed strike on her way through. Just give a whack at it with her free hand.
Sure thing. You hit it and it dents it, but it doesn't move it. This creature's just too big and too massive, taking a too big of a proverbial and kind of literal footprint as you run by, and the senator fires his 2 remaining bullets into like the crotch of this thing as he runs through, and it does nothing to it. And he's, you can see the look in his eye. He's getting ready to do that Superman thing where the crooks shoot their 6 shots and then throw the gun. And back in the day, George Reeves would duck. I always loved that part. He takes the bullets and then ducks the gun, whatever. Okay, so as he shoots into, you make it through onto the other side, and in front of you, you see Wolverine and a sword-wielding Kitty Pryde as they're standing against a similar 3-story tall robot. And we'll take the camera shifts directly from you over to Wolverine and Kitty. What do you two do? The shot is going to go off. So I'm going to allow you all to do whatever you'd like to do to be X-Men here, but this shot's going to go.
Okay. Kitty, it's not going at her. Kitty's okay with it.
Mm.
She trusts Spider-Man not to shoot any good guys. She sees the web come out.
Right. You're talking about the robot shooting at which one of us? It's me, right? It's Wolverine.
Well, this shot just hit Victor Von Doom. So
yeah, that robot.
As the shot goes over and strikes Victor Von Doom, the creature turns and realizes that Spider-Man is like swinging around its arm, basically redirecting its shot. And so with this moment of the shot blisters out into the sky, there's nothing you can really do to stop it from hitting Victor. But what do you do now, the two of you, as you see Spider-Man pushed in his chips and is in that situation? What do the two of you do?
Has Kitty ever seen this sword before? Or is this brand new, let's see how it goes thing? Okay. Kitty's gonna just come up, swing the sword, maybe air step up to it a bit so she can reach something more vital better, because she doesn't think hitting a limb isn't gonna do a lot of good. She's gonna try to plunge the sword right into the chest.
And try to distract it so that she has like the time to get to just to the perfect level.
Yeah, just air step. It's like a stair stepper, but it's just on the air.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, as you're climbing the invisible steps to get there, running, very with the sword behind you. Okay, Wolverine, I want you to roll me. I'll tell you what, Wolverine, because I wanted to use this all night. Roll me a popularity to see if you can gain the attention of this thing, and then
I have a -2 to popularity, so if it's a contest, you're winning.
I have a -4 to popularity.
Oh no!
So,
we're the worst.
Yeah,
I know.
This is why we hang out all the time.
That's right.
Nobody.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend my last 2 karma
to break it even, right?
Break it even. And I really want to provide Kitty this opportunity, so I'm also going to use one of my 2 remaining advantages.
Perfect.
So this will just be popularity twice. Oh no.
Hey!
There you go.
That's a 12.
That's a 12.
Because you have a
12.
yeah.
So I think he sees, he doesn't know what the sword is. So I think there's a weird, and only half of his face exists right now. The rest is healing still. You can see his one eyebrow crinkle up, and then he drags his claw along the ground, and it scrapes over some of the other metal body parts of some of the other robots that have been destroyed. And he just kind of holds it up in front of him so that it's looking right down at him. And he says, "Hey, Tin Man, I'm going to send you back to Oz in pieces." And then he waits.
And because this is the 80s, and that one line was just fantastic, the triangular face looks down and begins to reposition for an attack, ignoring the approaching Kitty Pryde. Okay, Kitty, roll me that agility.
Agility or fighting?
You can do either, whatever one.
I'll do fighting, because while Logan may be the art teacher, he taught me the art of the sword a little bit. We had a field trip to Japan once. It was great.
You were taken over by somebody.
It happens, weird X-Men, junior X-Men stuff. I'm gonna use one of my last 2 advantages, because I really want to hit this thing with the sword. 10.
With a 10. As you plunge this into its chest, or wherever you want to do, I will simply tell you this. The only narrative element that I will add is the soul sword begins to glow with a hellish fire. And from every crack, seam, or orifice in this creature, steam, flame, or smoke begins to blast. But that's all I get to say. You tell me what else happens.
I think Kitty looks surprised with how well that went. She wasn't quite expecting that reaction. She was like, whoa! And pulls it out, and Lockheed comes back after having flown around a little bit and lands back on her shoulder. She looks up at Logan, you might want to jump off! And she'll just kind of let herself fall back and into the ground just in case.
And that is exactly what happens as you kind of swan dive backwards, like a bungee, you're launching off a bungee trellis or something.
Yeah.
And as you float down through the air and land, just as you, I don't know if Kitty does a 3-point superhero landing, but you're able to kind of phase into the ground a bit.
That's bad for your knees.
Right. Your joints are the happier for it. This thing explodes. So Spider-Man, Logan, you both are able to jump free and kind of you're backlit by this exploding robot as it blasts off into a million pieces. None of them melt. They are just atomized, much like Hank McCoy.
Interesting.
And one final round of advantages comes in from Hawk.
My dive looks really good. I got a score of 9. Backflip.
It looks good. Let's check with the Russian judges. Colossus is like 9. Okay, so
Trying to get in the X-Men, y'all.
Spider-Man would yell out, "Something as bad as in the tunnels. I'm telling you." I don't know if that's where it's coming from.
Okay.
let's cut.
Okay.
Let's cut to.
Not okay.
At this point, we're going to say that everybody on the field is able to get together. The creature that Jessica, that you ran beneath, you see everything from about 3/4 of the chest upward gets ripped away by the blasts coming from the palms of Dr. Doom as Victor rips this thing apart with his particle weapons that he is wielding. And within moments, the Fab Five and the Doctor of Doom are together.
I want to pull that rebar out of Doug's chest too. Let's just phase it out of him.
You're able to
Until
do
we're
so.
like, get him some first aid.
Why don't you roll your resources again?
Oh, okay. Storm's over there.
That thing was really coming for you, Doom.
This is 7.
You're able to stabilize him. Doug is not dead. He is terribly hurt though, but you're able to stabilize him. Victor Von Doom, looking almost thin without the cape and the broad kind of pauldrons that he wears of cloth with the ornate green hood, all of those burned away by the blast. And for a moment, even though in the sky above, almost like a suborbital descent, you see more of these creatures coming as at least 3 dozen are visible as dropping meteors towards Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. And Doom looks at the 5 of you. Do you understand now? Do you? Look around. And you see students that are beneath rubble. You see Bobby Drake as he's lying against the steps. You hadn't seen where he had fallen, but he is very still. And all around you, members of the faculty, members of the student body, parents, all rest quite serene. And Doom looks up to the sky. Do you understand?
Spit it out, Victor. If you know something, tell us.
What do I know? Well, that is easy, Richards. The heroes always find out.
What does that mean?
And there is a flash. And each of you are standing there. Senator and Connie Diaz are having a picture, standing not as politician and asset, but as father and daughter. The Richards family are standing for Peter Parker as he takes a picture with another flash that came over his shoulder, a flash that captured both Peter and the Richards family. Colossus taking a picture of the faculty that extended to get Kitty and Logan. The pictures that captured Jess as she was taking her views of the area, an errant flashbulb that seemed to be from a distance, from a window. As you all look around, the sun dips outside of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, and you hear in your minds, would you all please meet me in my study?
Is Xavier out there? Is he out there with the crowd?
No. But the parents are talking. Logan, you're having a conversation about art. You see several of the parents hanging off of Colossus. Everything is as it was.
Click.
I think Logan's eyes like go through the crowd trying to find Kitty.
Kitty's trying to find Logan.
Right?
I imagine Sam's probably talking to her. She's like, okay,
And I think he probably pushes a parent like so hard, like he knocks them over. He's trying to get there.
I majored in art!
Peter would turn to Jessica because she bumped into him.
Yeah.
He would look at her and be like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
That was weird.
Oh, totally.
He's trying to see recognition in Kitty's eyes as he's getting to her.
She's got a look of, what the fuck just happened?
And then like his neck cranes around. Now he's looking for Fantastic. Like, where's Fantastic?
You catch his eye from across the room, and he stops Sue just as she's about to say something and says, I know this is going to make you angry, but please. And immediately leaves as before, but a few seconds before he pissed her off last time, pissing her off again, of course, and immediately strides over to where Logan is and says, we have to meet with Charles quickly.
Like right now. What just happened?
Yeah, Jessica's running over.
If anybody's
assuming with Peter.
Yeah, he
Probably
would definitely go
jogging over to the other three.
Spider-Man's like heads. He's like, my head's about to explode. My head's about to explode. What is
Okay.
going on?
We're not crazy, right?
All five of us can't be crazy
Can't-
at once.
we're-
Psychic link or no?
Cool. Okay. What the fuck?
As Reed meets with Logan, he thinks, he reaches Logan, puts his hand on his shoulder, closes his eyes, and thinks to Charles and says, time loop, time distortion of some kind. Meet in Charles's office immediately, hoping that he's connecting his thoughts to the Fab Five.
be
I
here.
like that you've accepted this name.
It's relayed
The
to all
player
of you.
has the character.
Okay.
And you do hear from Charles, I sense it too. Come to my study.
On the way
Let's
to
book
the
it.
study.
Power walking.
Yeah, what did you say? You cut out for a sec, Don.
Oh, is Hank McCoy on the way to the study? Is he somewhere visible?
When you enter into the school and walk down the first floor, Hank would walk by with his glasses down around the tip of his nose. Greetings, Dr. Richards.
The other teachers want you outside.
He smiles, his teeth.
Spider-Man would grab him and hug him. Oh, or Peter Parker. Oh,
He
see you, buddy.
He goes, he reaches down and kind of awkwardly pats, and he goes, thank you, Spider-Man.
It's good to see you. Good to see you, Hank. Good to see you.
He looks like she's about to cry.
Logan kind of spins around. He doesn't really stop as he's walking past Hank, but he kind of spins around for a moment. He says, hey, Hank, no matter what happens, don't come back inside here. Not in the next hour. I'll fill you in later.
If you see robots, punch them.
Okay. And he's reading a book of poetry from Robert Frost because he's the poetry teacher, and he puts a bookmark in that is, it seems to be a bit of preserved and pressed plant from the Savage Land. He closes it, puts it under his arm. Punch robots.
If there's 3 of them, you just punch as fast as you can. Don't let 3 of them gang up on you. Just robot laws. It's fine.
Will do.
Steer clear. Just in case.
I think Kitty just power walks away, like sniffling, just to the office.
Jessica's gonna dip a hand in her pocket and see if that cigarette that she picked up from the window before is still there.
Let's hold on that for just 1 second. The door to Professor Xavier's study is open, and it's just 10 feet away from where you talked with Hank McCoy. It seems as if Hank must have just come from the professor's study. And from through the door and behind the desk, Professor Xavier motions for you to enter. He reaches across, kind of reaching for Kitty's hand.
She'll take it.
He holds it and pats the back of it as he looks around at all of you. You are all mentally and psychically tethered.
Yep.
Got that
You've already
one.
told us this.
Yep, check mark on that.
check. Yep, didn't know before. Now we know now because you told us, and we don't know how
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah, we
It's
got
okay.
that part.
Yep, that was there.
It's okay. I see what you experienced, the robots, the death. I believe someone left me a message along with your memories, knowing I and I alone could discern it. It says the trilogy is coming. Somehow you 5 are the only ones that can stop them. And there's something else, a phrase over and over. The heroes always find out.
Love to know what we're supposed to find out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And
The adventures.
Jessica, as you say this, your thumb and forefinger roll around the cigarette in your pocket. And with his hand still on the back of yours, Kitty, Professor X says, seeing this threat, I will assist you all in any way that I can. And Miss Pryde, I saw what you did. I think it's time for a promotion. And that's where we'll end our session of Empire City.
Leveled up.
Whoa! I'm a full X-Men now!
That was super
the real
fun.
deal.
So
Realer
good.
than real deal, Holyfield.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. I had a lot of fun. Chat, we have, and that it says $660, but we actually had bits that came in as well. And those bits put us at over $700 for our... What? You people were amazing. Legion's amazing. All of your incredible donations helped to tell this fantastic story. You all did it. This was Marvel at its best, with these 5 fantastic storytellers and all of you fantastic storytellers in chat. I love it. I couldn't have loved it anymore. All for a wonderful cause where we are going to be able to give over $700 to a group of heroes from some people playing superheroes, but all of you in chat for donating are heroes. Heroes all around. A trilogy, if you will. But let's go around and talk to all of our wonderful cast. We'll go in reverse order as I talk to Dawn. Dawn, my friend, how are you and where can we find you?
Oh man, I had such a great time. I've enjoyed all of our sessions that we've done of this, but I feel like each time we do it, like we jive a little bit more, like it just feels better and better. And getting to do it for a charity each time is always just amazing. The people who are watching, your support, thank you so much. It's incredible. The energy you give is incredible, and this is one of my very favorite things that I could be doing right now, and I had a blast playing with my friends. So thank you very much, Greg. Great story. Very like this was a little darker than what we've done the last couple of sessions, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. As for me, you can find me on Twitter. If you don't already follow me, that's the best place. I do a bunch of stuff. I write and I stream, and I post it all there. The next thing I have coming up is on Tuesday on the LFM Network Twitch channel. That's LFM_network. I run a Dark Sun 5th edition D&D game. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're only doing a Q&A this week. So if you haven't seen it yet, this might be a good week to tune in. We're going to be talking about the Dark Sun setting. So if you don't know a lot, or if you like Dark Sun, it might be cool to tune in. But that's what I got going on.
Fantastic, buddy. And everybody, links to Dawn and Veiled Alliance and LFM Network in chat. So please follow everything that these kind, fantastic people were doing. You will not be disappointed. And let's jump over to someone that never disappoints, except maybe Sue. Mark, buddy, how are you and where can we find you?
Man, I had such a blast. I can't believe I have so much fun in these games with you guys. And I can't believe that each episode gets even more fun than the last one. This has been the best of them all so far. This has been great. I'm having a great time. Love raising money with you guys for charity, and love playing superheroes with you folks. It's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. So my name is Mark Slack. You can follow me on Twitter at @ActualSlack. I don't stream a lot of role playing, so if any of you guys have games and you're looking for a player, I'm on board. Hit me up. But you can catch me tomorrow streaming some Magic the Gathering. I will be early morning, like 10:30 for a couple hours, doing some Theros draft. So check me out there, or hit me up on Twitter because I'm always up for chatting. So anyway, you guys are fantastic, and chat. Wow, $700. Pretty amazing evening, guys. Thank you so much for letting me participate.
Oh, I love you, buddy. Love you so much, man. Mr. Fantastic. I thought for a moment, he's going to correct getting Sue mad at him, and you didn't. You turned right back into it.
That's going to dangle and come back to hurt me later. Yeah.
It's classic. That is classic.
Classic Reed behavior, right?
I thought we had many just singular moments in this one that I really, really enjoyed. Chief of which, down to Jessica, I loved the moment when you went into Xavier's by yourself. It almost had a Cthulhu type of feel to it, like that investigative moment, and I really, really dug that. But my friend, where can we find you online?
Oh boy, this was so fun. Thank you, and thank you, chat. Holy crap, that was a lot of money. Well played. You can find me at Little Cup of Joe on the internets, on Twitter, and on Twitch. I stream JRPGs sometimes and other weeby nonsense. And then occasionally I run some TTRPGs on my channel. And then otherwise I appear on other channels like this one. So Twitter's the best place to find me. But thank you again for this. This is so fun. I love playing with this group. It is delightful. It makes me so happy.
I love that. First off, I will never look at Jessica Jones again and not think of you, because my hand to God, I think you have encapsulated an already established character so well with your interactions with Peter, how dismissive you were at the beginning. You bump into him, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm working. I'm a photo journalist. I mean, that's just vintage Jessica Jones. Doesn't give a shit at all. And I love it. I couldn't love it anymore. And with your portrayal of Jessica Jones, I am equally enthralled with everybody's portrayal. But buddy Steve, your Spider-Man and Peter Parker gets better and better, just because half the time you're amazing and half the time you think you have to impress the other people around you, and you're playing it perfectly. I love it, buddy. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, BigPig50,000. But beyond that, the donations, thank you. Legion, thank you. $700. That is just fantastic for this donation cause, for Lindy and her cause. That's just what it's about. That is just unbelievable. I'm blown away by that money. Thank you. I loved Jessica. Your sentiments, Greg, about Jess, Kitty, the way Lindy played Kitty, the way Dawn plays Logan, the way fantastic, like you said, the double over, that is completely Reed. I mean, just love every minute of everything. Greg, your job was amazing. The story you poured out there, when you gave Jessica the shields, I was like, oh, I just sit back and watch. I mean, I was like, yes. So, I mean, just fantastic all the way through. I love playing this game. I love playing with these people. I want to thank everybody out there, Legion, Greg, you, the donations. What's it called again? I'm sorry. Beyond CELIAC. Hopefully the money goes to good. Thank you. I'll catch you on the flip side, and deuces. So bye-bye.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. And yes, our last but not least is our birthday Shadow Cat. And I thought, whenever Lindy goes, can we please play Marvel superheroes for my birthday and make it for Beyond CELIAC? I mean, what am I gonna say? No. I mean, it's awesome. And I immediately thought, as soon as I got that, and I thought, okay, we're gonna do this. I thought the only way that I can do this is to give Kitty that bump up to the main team at the end. There's no way that can't happen in this one. So, my friend, how are you? Happy birthday, and where can we find you?
Thank you. This was a fantastic birthday, a super birthday, a fabulous birthday with the Fab Five, if you will. Oh my goodness, this was great. I love that we got so much money for Beyond CELIAC, because if there's anything Kitty Pryde would support, it's a genetic autoimmune disease research. I mean, come on, it's definitely something she'd be into. It's something that I've been going through for almost 20 years now, and it's so good to see so much raised. I can't believe I was like, man, I'm gonna be so happy if we get like 200, and then we just blew past that. I loved Dr. Doom. I think my favorite moment was Spider-Man redirecting that blast and Reed trying but crit failing to save him. That was just, that deserves to be on a comic panel, like an actual comic strip. I want to see that drawn. Thank you guys so much for making this such a wonderful birthday, both the Fab Five, Greg, and chat. Legion, thank you. This was absolutely amazing. Best birthday I could have hoped for. And you can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play in and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs, and maybe we'll see if I can harass Greg into more Marvel superheroes in the future. So
You're not going to twist my arm. This is absolutely one of my favorite things. My friend, I hope you had a good birthday. Again, when you want to play games with somebody, the number one thing that you can ask for from the people that you're playing with is a shared passion. Do they like the system and the setting as much as perhaps you believe that you like it? I think you just have to look around at how all of these wonderful people were dressed to realize just on the surface level, they're here to throw down, they're here for hits. And when you take into consideration that they are also fantastically kind, it makes for a wonderful experience. And then couple that with an audience who is generous, giving, and kind, and couldn't ask for anything more. It is the perfect three, I'll say it again, the trilogy of storytelling. I can't wait to continue the story and hopefully be able to do it for a good cause. I'd like to do it as frequently as we can for different causes every time that we get a chance to sit down, continue this story and take it to its natural conclusion, which of course is the Fab Five taking over the universe. But until such time as the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. Hit follow to see the next time I get together with my friends and we dress up like superheroes for the real heroes in some charity far, far away. Love you all. Thank you for your generosity, and we will see you next time.